can do that.
Does it sound better?
Do the monkey.
Does it sound better?
Yeah, it's nice and clear and on the show. And
Okay.
I'm dancing like Johnny Bravo.
Best thing Greg Brady ever did. Nice. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Shadow and Sun Show. I'm going to bring, I'm guessing it's TCG, but I haven't looked yet. And I was right. What's up, TCG?
Product placement. Product placement. Product placement.
Tim Horton makes a good glue.
Hey, there's an S on the end there. Important.
Hey. How's it going, TCG?
Pretty good. Sorry, I would have been here a little bit sooner, but I had to restart my computer again.
No worries, man. No worries. No worries.
I really got to replace this thing.
I bring up the chat. What's up, George? You want to pop in? I don't know if you made a character or not last week. My brain's
he's making a character.
And you know where the link is. You want to come on in? Come on in. You can stick out your tongue in person. Freaking weirdo. Yeah. So TCG, I did not read the document you sent me because I was running behind.
The ladies love me because I can do that. Not that I ever would, because it's degenerate. But I imply I could, and they love that.
Yeah, no, they. I'm pretty sure they insist on. Yeah. Anyways, so I got my character. Raven actually made a character too. I don't know where she is. She probably changed an tire by the side of the road, something like that. I don't know. So we're gonna
knowing Raven, she is currently sacrificing a raccoon to the cat gods.
No, she's currently being sacrificed by raccoons to the cat gods.
That sounds. Hey, did you guys see Grandma's crafting video, which she did with some Halloween props?
No.
Oh no, I still need to check that out.
Okay, go check that out. She did
after the show. After the show, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like
more
10
video
minutes.
for those in the future.
I'm stealing every one of her ideas because I think I have most of the things already in my piles somewhere. But I was just like, oh my god, this is so simple and so clever, and probably, if you had everything ready, you could probably, bang some of that stuff out, and including primer, drying time, and all that, maybe like 2 hours. But excellent job, Grandma. Just really, really cool, simple stuff. I'm going to give one away. You know those plastic vampire, denture teeth things?
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay, Matt, when you get them in the package, they're straight, flat, and you have to bend them. Well, she just left them flat and turned it into like a sacrificial altar table by filling in the gap where your tongue would go with some foam board, and then put some skulls around the outside. Just simple, just genius.
Oh,
I never thought of that.
Sorry.
Go ahead, man.
Speaking of real simple, I discovered from watching a video, I don't know how many people know this, a dollar store picture frame is great for a diorama base.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
I found that I was like, holy crap, that is mind-blowingly awesome.
Well, here, let me show you real quick. I got this one right here.
Hey, there's George. I recognize that link.
I did this one. It's a Reaper.
But they sell those bases at the dollar store as well.
Yeah. It was like super. Oh, sheesh. I need to add some grass underneath the cat. But yeah, I really.
Yeah, nobody can see it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but and I did the same with this.
Yeah, but if you're doing larger dioramas than just one or two miniatures, you're doing like a couple of buildings.
Spiderweb on them. What the hell?
Yeah.
But that one turned out really good. But yeah, although I really should have done a better job sanding it, or I did something, because it's real rough on the black part here, and it just looks like.
That's the one thing I hate about those is they're unfinished.
Yeah,
they're just like a router bit. And I don't know about you. I've got a router, so
I've got a Dremel with the appropriate tools, but I
Second,
thought
one
I you know
second.
I gave
I'll
it a
be
good
right back.
I gave it a good sandpapering, and it just didn't do the job. What's up, George? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Having a good weekend. Got a game tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Got a new player joining us. Hopefully, Off Grid Gaming will join us in the chat tonight. He's going to join our group and. Had a no show for last night's game, so we just sat and talked for a bit, which is something I had done a video on a couple weeks ago. When those online games fall through, you're already there. Freaking hang out, man. Oh, okay. Nice.
Router, not Dremel.
Yeah. See, I got if I had shit like that, my to-do list would be never ending. I learned a long time ago when I was moving furniture. I used to work for a furniture store, and as soon as everybody found out, within the first like 3 months, I got asked by six different people to help them move.
Yeah. So
Router
Shadow,
is not like moving guy.
Sorry. Yeah, so basically, Shadows, you're saying the moment you get a router, you're going to go, all right, now I want trimming on all the bookcases. I want to retrim all the house. I want a nice new trim on the table. So that's really what routers are for, is trimming. I mean, they can do other things. That's really what they're
something similar, things like that. I know because
I want all the shelves to be dado grooved into each other instead of just pegged on.
I know because when Jackie's mom found out I had a certain kind of saw. Oh, I need you to cut this. I'm like, cut it yourself, woman. Get 2 hands. Seriously.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I need to start chopping firewood for the winter, and I also need to have the chimney.
Whoa. What the fuck's Jackie doing?
Jackie's doing usually
No,
home.
I don't care about that. You said you need to cut firewood. I said, what's Jackie doing?
Yeah, he can help, but I tend to usually want to do it
He
real early in the morning.
You're sitting there drinking a Mai Tai while he's cutting the firewood.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got to teach him first, so it's
what
easier.
What kind of parent are you, man?
Apparently,
you should have been out there cutting the firewood when he was 3.
I was cutting the firewood. Literally, I was cutting the firewood when I was 5.
Yeah, look. He's a late start on things.
Certainly, you weren't using a chainsaw.
You don't use a chainsaw.
Yeah, I mean,
you make the kid use a butter knife.
No. I mean, I was using a chainsaw at 6.
Okay.
They make small ones now.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Well, here's the thing. We're also talking about between the ages of 6 and 10, a child who could lift a hay bale bigger than him and throw it onto a
flatbed.
Flatbed. Thank you. That's almost as tall as he is. I actually miss those days because I can't do that anymore. I could barely get a hay bale off the ground.
Yeah.
I practically throw my back out in the process.
It's better than me. I get within like a quarter mile of a hay bale, and there's a chance I'm going to have an allergy attack. So,
fair.
Kudos to you. I'm. That's one of the few things I'm still allergic to. I think I am. At least
this is why Raven and I could never be in the same room. I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah, I'm allergic to cats too. Jackie is too.
You're saying that she's been around cats for so long, it's just seeped into her skin, and wherever she goes, she'll give people cat allergies problems?
Well, no, people with cats tend to carry the dander with them. And she's got a lot of cats, bro. A lot.
That she does.
I was trying to make a Raven joke, but I got taken literally.
Yeah. No. I'm saying that people with cats, it does seep into them, and they carry cat allergies with wherever they go.
Yeah,
that actually does happen. You just need one of them. You don't need 30. Or 40,
that's why I said
100.
I was taken literally. I was trying to make it all creepy and stuff. It's like, oh no, that actually happened.
Yeah,
she's got to watch out for the Haitians.
The what?
The Haitians.
That turned out to not be a Haitian. That was just an average American black woman.
Ah. Like
I
the
don't know what
Chinese.
Who was only in black case. She was actually painted black. She was actually white.
She was a Republican.
Yeah, I somehow kind of doubt that.
That's my joke, and I'm sticking to it. She was a Republican.
You have to
I
tolerate.
told you before about moving that to another table while you're on camera, bro.
But it's not. Well, it's not as bad as it was last time. Last time it sounded like he was vibrating the whole table. Now it just sounds like he's vibrating a bottle.
It's weird because it's on a nice squishy
It
piece of
doesn't matter.
styrofoam, but then again, it is literally probably 3 inches away from the microphone. So
There's your big issue.
Yeah.
When I'm using it, it's on a folding table and it's right below the microphone. So I mute myself every time I shake a paint bottle.
Yeah, I just felt like being a jerk.
No, you just forgot all about it.
No,
Don't
no.
lie. Don't bearing false witness is a sin, bro.
Of all the many that I'm guilty,
I want 12 Hail Marys.
of all that I'm guilty of, that's
And
far
20
from the,
apology push-ups.
Yeah.
yeah. I assure you, that's not the least of them. And I'm 100% certain I'm going to commit worse than that, probably within the next 24 hours. Just saying, nothing specific, but just my track record. So, George, you made a character.
Yeah, well, it's sort of in my head.
Were you here last week?
That's mine.
I did have something written down here.
I thought we were specifically told at least 3 paragraphs.
Yeah, I say all kinds of shit.
I actually, what I ended up doing was I use Playground AI, and they've revamped the entire website, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I just started clicking in there, and it came up with this. I don't know if you saw a little guy on a skateboard kind of thing, a hoverboard.
Mm-hmm.
And,
no, where did you post it?
I think in general in your
oh,
Discord.
really?
And so I kind of liked how it just, you're saying, like, just play a character that you never would have thought you'd play.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like it did go with the whole fast food guy theme. He's a lot younger than what I thought. He's got an e-cigarette in his mouth, and he's on a hoverboard. So I kind of like it. When I eventually figured out where I was in the wrong part of the program and went to like the part I understood better, we just kept making it all not like what I wanted to see. So, but this like first image of the guy on the hoverboard was closer, and I kind of liked it. So I ended up sort of changing my ideas about the character just based on the crazy AI.
Cool.
Well, I didn't know where to put my picture. Shout out, you really need a Saturday show section for your Discord.
You know what? I'll get right on that. I just don't know when.
But, yeah, I'll get right on that as soon as I'm able.
Yeah. Like all things in life,
Well, in general is where I'll put the picture of the character I made, which is actually the picture I'm using tonight.
I didn't make a character. I was gonna, but I got distracted with
Slacker
stuff. You know how it is.
Yeah, I'm still calling you Slacker.
Yo.
In the voice of Justin, AI exists. Cheat it. That's what I did.
Cheat it. Yeah, I did it live on show last week.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, ChatGPT didn't do too bad. The end is a little bit power gamey. It's like basically said that he can control his puppets from across the galaxy from one planet. It's like
you can tell it not to do that.
Well, that's the only thing I didn't like about it. So it's like, it can just shift that to across planet.
Well,
yeah, depending on the tech level, I guess, or how you're doing it.
The AI assumed, and I didn't, since you didn't say what tech level, I didn't tell it to assume anything else. It assumed this was an intergalactic level technology.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that. I forget who it was wondering if we're going to run these characters, and maybe, but you know, my schedule is so freaking full right
Well,
now.
what I was figuring, Shadow, is if we do that, we pick a system that we like, and then we do that as a bi-Saturday thing.
Mhm.
Bi-weekly Saturdays.
Or just do
Instead of
the
doing-
occasional
Yeah, or do
the occasional drop-in session here or there.
Yeah, but either way, not add to your schedule. Just do it on a Saturday.
That's a good idea.
I think.
That way, you don't have to think of a topic. You're already struggling to do that.
Yes and no. I've only had a couple of instances where I was just totally blank. And a lot of times when I thought I was totally blank, something came up at the last minute. I'm like, run with
Well,
it. Like just now, I got an idea, thanks to both of you two. Uh, well, all three of you actually. Doing an episode on ways we can use AI in our games, like quick, fast, simple things to, you know,
Oh,
yeah.
excellent example.
supplement or augment our games in a hurry. I'm noticing a lot of people, using it for the art, but I know there's other things, and we can talk about that in another show. And I should actually go over.
A single
I am in chat. Oh, okay.
how good this topic is for anybody who's curious in the future as to why I would cover it. In the middle of Bruce's game, not playing as just as an observer, but I could do it as a playing as easy enough. Based off Bruce's description, made a mold, like anybody who knows Warhammer 40K, a Nurgle black dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ran into one once with
mushrooms growing on its back. It's bloated. It's nasty looking. And Bruce liked the picture so much when I sent it to him, based off of his own description, as I just copied it word for word, that he threw that up on the thing and said, "This is what you're looking at."
Nice. More proof that oh, sheesh. That is not what I wanted. Sorry, I'm doing a little painting while we're talking.
And I have other AI stories that work around gaming too. So
yeah,
that one's a good example.
When I ran my game for Table Breakers, I used a bunch of it, and I had Jackie draw some images as well, and it was relatively easy. I was using Night Cafe, and this is over a year ago, but it was like, okay, I could see this being a thing, but for sci-fi more than fantasy, because like in my fantasy games, I have a little bit. I don't know that I could give the right prompts to come across with the style I'm picturing in my head, and with fantasy games, I with writing, I like to let people's imaginations be more of it than my descriptions, because it's fantasy, and there's so many little subtle nuances that could be in each player's mind versus sci-fi. If I say a rocket ship, you're going to need a little bit more specifics in the way of details versus if I say it's a blue dragon.
Yeah. One of the things I was thinking about is, like, when you're playing playing in a game, and you enter the room, you get the description from the GM, and it's sort of that theater of the mind thing. But it's how we talked about Chekhov's gun, where it's like there's like something there that you're supposed to use later on eventually. So, and it's tough, I think, for a GM, especially in a theater of mind setting, where you're like, okay, there's a room and it's 30 by 30, and it has this in it. It has a table in it. Oh, and it has a chandelier hanging from the ceiling with a rope going to the right, and it's tied to the wall there, where you probably would, drop on the monster when he comes at you.
Okay.
So, like, I think I think it's tough for a GM to point out the stuff in a nonchalant enough way to, like, not be like
Obvious.
that's something. Yeah. And so maybe with AI, because they don't have to, like, I don't know if it's like you just give them a picture, or you pull up a screen or something to your players. You generate an image of a room, like the view from the door, and it would have all those things in there, and you don't have to sit there and point out all the things that they might be able to
like
use.
those
Yes.
those hidden image games, where it's like a picture and you got to, like on the back of the cereal box, you got to find the giraffe and
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like that.
I was thinking more like just if you can get the AI to add a lot of details in there, and it might even be stuff that you don't even think about. There's a spot you could hide behind. There's a spot, there might be a
Yeah.
chandelier you could swing from. There could be, there's these spear racks on the walls, and maybe something you could be used something with those, or just all these kind of other things that maybe AI has the potential to just generate a lot of maybe necessarily noise, but sort of some details that people could use in their encounters.
Yeah.
It's a good point though, George, with
Yeah,
the not being obvious. What I
yeah.
tend to do is either I'm either too vague about it, and then people will ask, and I know the whole asking questions in some circles is like, you know,
Well, that's one of the things those 4D guys are trying to address, right? And it's like, if it's not breaking the environment, if it makes sense for it to be there, don't don't complain if the player says, "Well, we're in a dining room. I grab a dining room chair and throw it at the guy." Well,
right.
I didn't describe a dining room chair. How do you know there's a dining room chair there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
dear,
It's a dining
you
room.
just
I
said it's a
already
dining room.
play that way. It's
Yeah,
just the
well, a
fact that
lot
if
of
we were
people
to go
don't.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of DMs get mad when players like assume the things that should be in a room are actually in there.
Yeah.
That's just
Uh,
And also, like when, like,
it is stupid.
we check the room for a round, for an
Yeah.
hour or whatever it is, and it's just like we've thoroughly checked the room. There's nothing in it, but like you have an image, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna look under the carpet, see if there's a trap door there.
Yeah. See,
That
I don't do the like perception check. If you don't look under the bed, you don't know what's under the bed.
Yeah.
And I don't
There's
do the
no.
generic. You search the room for an hour.
see,
No. You
I
need to
do
tell me where you
perception checks,
search.
but I'm sorry.
Go ahead, TCG.
I do perception checks, but I'm very subtle about it. It's not like, oh, you see that? No. Oh, you notice there's a breeze coming from under the bed.
No, I mean if the players ask, can I roll perception? I'm like, no.
For what? What have you checked to roll perception on in the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
place?
yeah. It's
Right,
too
like
There
gamey.
you have to be very specific. It's like, I want to check this for something. Okay, then
Yeah.
it might be.
well,
Then depending on what it is, it might be a perception check. Like, okay, you're
Because-
checking behind the picture. Okay, you see it. But if you're like, I'm
for
checking
me,
this wall, okay, you're gonna need a perception check because the wall, most time, hidden things aren't just blatant.
see,
yeah.
for me, I having worked in the field that I did,
Ditto.
and other related fields, I've seen things hidden in the most weird, wacko jacko places. You know,
Oh dear God!
no, not like that. No cavity searches.
No, I wasn't
you
thinking that. More along the lines. My mind went straight to sewage tanks.
Oh no,
No.
I'm talking like cereal boxes and
Oh,
ketchup
yeah.
containers and deodorant cans.
I'll tell you this thing. The hardest shit to find is stuff out in the open.
Yep,
Because your eyes will glaze over because you're looking
the
for
purloined letter.
hidden stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Well, the vent. I don't
You
want.
guys
to go
remember
any
where the letter
further.
was?
I don't think I ever read that story. But
Nobody
it
here
was-
remembers where the letter was, because
Nope.
it's like the like I believe it's like the origin of detective novels or stories, I should say.
Yeah.
No, the letter was in the trash can. And most dungeons
I never read
don't
the
have like a
story.
trash
So.
can or a wastebasket, but things like that. I've literally found numerous clues in the real life in wastebaskets. Right next to the guy's desk.
Always check the trash first. We used to have a machine that you could put shredded document slices into, and it would scan them and then orient them and then
Nice.
determine what document they were for and then put them back together.
That's scary, but
Yeah. So
Not
if you own a
surprising.
shredder, make sure you
Burn.
once
paper
you've
afterwards?
shredded the documents, you need another step of destroying those fucking things.
Oh,
if it's anything.
absolutely. I would never Just
and that's just a normal scanner. You don't have to take it back together.
It's funny, you know. Now that you mention that, I literally have had like 3 or 4 exes that had paper shredders before I started dating them or whatever.
I destroyed 3 of them in a month over using them, just running through documents.
Wow.
What do you mean? You just took these? I'll take that trash for you.
No. I used the shredders so hard I burnt them out. Three in 1 month, just because I was destroying an entire warehouse full of documents.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't get them to spring for a wood chipper, which is a lot better when you're destroying boxes.
Huge amounts of paper. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're not concerned about what's in the filing box, a wood chipper's a lot better because you just throw the whole box through the wood chipper.
Yeah.
But
like
we just couldn't get one in, so I had to keep running down to Staples and
it's like
buying another more rugged. Hey, Bo, how you doing? Long time no see.
Hey, what's up, man?
Raven.
Oh, Raven, we were talking about you.
Yeah.
We were wondering if the cats had gotten you yet.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole wood chipper thing reminded me. There was actually before recycling your minis, your 3D prints was a thing. There was a guy online who was showing you how to recycle them with a wood with a.
That's a good question for you. Justin, would it work with a diamond cut paper shredder? Where it cuts the paper diagonally, scanner. I guess.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's as long as you have the stripes of paper, it just reconnects them. Doesn't matter what way they are shredded.
See, one of the things people fail to realize is that even though we have so many repeat words, the English language is still set up in a manner that it is very easy to put words back together properly, especially across large sheets of words.
That's why every time people try to sue OpenAI or whatever for plagiarism, it gets tossed right away, because that's not how that thing works. It doesn't maintain the work scanned. It just weights the word combinations, then deletes the document. And that's the same way that software worked. It just weights the patterns and then restitches them, because that technology is a lot older than common access to it, like most technologies.
Yeah. Subject of sci-fi.
Yeah, sorry guys. I just
Yeah, I was just pulling up the list of questions for anyone that missed last week, so I could put them in the chat if anyone wants to redo. I think I have the questions, don't I?
It was pretty simple. What is their gender? What is their age? What is their quirk? What's some weird thing about them that's kind of unique to them, so to speak? What is their advantage and disadvantage? Not quite superpower. That's how Raven put it. When we were talking earlier, if you want to go that route, in sci-fi, cool. I made someone who's rather simple, and I could chalk the character up to an amalgamation of 2 characters from 2 very famous sources, 1 book, 1 TV show. But I added a little bit, a third element, which was the sci-fi, a little higher level of sci-fi. And I'll give you my inspirations as I go to it. But who wants to start off describing their character?
Well, I did mine last week.
Did you do the backstory or anything like that?
Yeah. The fuck, what was it? Ordinary Life, kind of a loser. That thing, remember? And then
Yeah, just as the guy who
Well,
washes out all the sex
just
bots.
pretend like you didn't do it all last week. So because we have a couple of newbies here who weren't here last week, I think, and never know who's going to watch this later, so they can get the full
yeah,
presentation.
he was.
Come on, I got 2 hours to fill.
I'm gonna skim this, bro. Ordinary upbringing. Late in his teens, he stumbled into to a virtual world, and then like technology and stuff, and he ends up becoming
Computers, man.
It's computers, man. And then he gets interested in robotics, but then he's kind of a slacker loser. Like, he's a comic book guy, but not for comic books, right?
Uh-huh.
Just picture comic book guy from The Simpsons, but with VR goggles and the funky smell of spunk, because he spends his whole days cleaning robots.
Yeah. I'm already grossed out, even though I don't know what the hell smell you're talking about.
You know that smell. Don't lie.
Worst part about it is Justin's character makes sense for meeting with my character, the Puppet Master. I was called in to make better versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. TCG.
Yeah, and
So what's his advantage?
He doesn't see
advantage.
reality.
I don't think you asked for that question last week.
Oh, I absolutely did.
You said
I thought it was the fact he didn't have to see reality, because that's what the headset was for.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
His advantage is he's always plugged in, so horrible things have less of an effect on him because he's too busy being distracted.
Yeah, Raven. That's what I was going for. You.
Well, you succeeded in spades, I guess.
Spades. And then I guess he overhears something that he wasn't supposed to. And that's how he ends up on whatever adventure we're on. Or he's like bored.
Overheard or saw it when reviewing, data tapes or something like that. Looking through the memory to doing a diagnostic, and like, oh shit, the robot killed the guy.
Yeah, on my guy, I kind of have a similar thing where, so he works in a fast food place, and the whole idea was that you see these crazy videos of just all the insanity they have to deal with, like the woman at the pancake house who like dodges the chair, just smacks it out of the way. So there's an incident at this fast food place that he works at, and the cops they take the guy away, and then he's taking the trash out in the back or something, and he sees that the cops just letting the guy go, and now he sees there's corruption afoot or something.
Okay. But what are his quirks and?
Okay, so the idea was, as part of it, I changed it because I was compelled by not compelled, but found the image compelling. From the AI, so he's a lot younger than what I originally thought. He's a fast food worker, and he works in so this kind of a McDonald's type place, but really kind of low tier fast food chain. And all this, if any of you guys ever worked at a McDonald's, a lot of it's sort of idiot proof, where it's like you hit the button, and then when it beeps, you flip the burgers. When it beeps, you put the onions. When it beeps, the buns are ready. So it's sort of taken to the extreme that everything is automated, and he's just there, one guy manning this whole McDonald's or something, and he's just got to make sure that these robots are working. So that's kind of how he gets his sort of robot skills.
So I'm seeing a heavy robot theme influence kind of thing. I can
Yeah.
work with that, especially sci-fi, and there's so many robotic classic
Yeah.
stories. Future World, Westworld, some of the early ones that were my favorites and go-tos. Uh, Especially Future World. I used the entire Future World premise um, in a Villains and Vigilantes game, a superhero campaign that ran like over a year. But instead of it being robots, it was more like the things from Blade Runner, where they you couldn't take the face off. They were biological, but because they were biological, they could be genetically programmed with super abilities and things like that. And uh, and I wove it throughout the campaign so that by the end they finally figured out that a lot of these supervillains were used to be like normal people that were they took their DNA and made a clone or a carbon copy, but then implanted new abilities or skill packages and things like that. And it literally ended the last game. The like imagine the superhero group is in the White House, the Oval Office, talking to the president when they find out that they have utterly failed, and even the president's one of them now. And that's where I left it. Because all the super guards are coming in, and it's just like, there's nothing they can do. They can't take out the president, you know, and think they're going to walk away. And even if they did, they just make a new fake president, put him in the chair, and it was pretty fun.
Cool. The advantage, I think
Bo, you want to come on in? You know where the link is. It'd be no trouble at all and a joy to have you. I was in. It was his game that I was talking about earlier that didn't pan out. So we just chatted for a while, and um, you guys all know Bo. Bo's a great guy. If I hear the beep, I'll know you came in. If not, um,
No, it's Bo. So you hear twang.
Bo doesn't really have that kind of an accent. Oh, you meant the other kind of.
Yeah, I meant a Bo twang.
Yeah, Bo's not really an archery guy. Just saying, it just beats your ass.
It's the name.
And folds you like a cheap suit while you're in it.
Yeah.
So,
You're muted, Justin.
So for knowing what you guys were doing, I had to make the stereotypical NPC that would be the glue that would bind you guys all together, and that's Agent Cobalt. I need to come up with a better name, but that's just what I'm going with. He's very tall, skinny. Uh, I don't know. I didn't give him a specific height because, like you guys remember, I was kind of basing him off the yellow guy from Curious George, because he always wears blue and baby blue to be precise. So there's all kinds of jokes there. But the reason why is he was uh, basically born in a baby farm on some particular planet for some particular corporation, so that he could go through the training, throughout his whole life to be the perfect agent for whatever his specialty turned out to be, depending on his aptitude and natural, things that happen, the unexpected developments as they're going through the process of training these cadets. He's only in his mid 30s, and his advantage is he's a human lie detector, so he's got built in, you know whether it's training or oh fuck, two boos in one night. Let's get the boo man in here. What's up, Bo? How's your tech? Boo, it's only a joke. We cannot hear.
You're muted, bro. This happened last time you tried to get onto a show, too.
Yeah, he was having problems with this at the beginning of the game. But just do what you got to do to make it work. We'll let you know when we can hear you.
What's your audio going through?
Well, you can't really tell us. Oh, he could through chat.
Well, that's more of a suggestion question than a question.
Mm-hmm.
So the imagine a 6'5" or 6", very skinny Tom Selleck mustache.
Oh,
Really really cheap government powder blue suit. The shirt, the
the
tie,
government issues powder blue suits.
right. Totally blends in. But over the years, too many missions, starting out as a youngster, he's become quite the alcoholic, and not the stinking, brawly kind of drunk, but the I love you, man, the total mushiest, squishiest, soft, the last thing you'd want from an agent. Just um, just all kinds of feelings and emotions when he's drunk.
The real question I have for this character is,
how's that?
Much better.
Yeah,
Um,
but your face is frozen.
no, he's just not moving.
That's just how you look.
Um,
You're like, so it was like,
yeah.
I give you a hard time.
The real question I have for this character is how long did the government union fight to get them to issue suits instead of them having to buy them?
Nice.
I'm sure the other character he's based on, probably most of you won't remember, but Robert Culp played the agent next to the Greatest American Hero, because Robert Culp played all kinds of secret agents in the past.
Yeah.
So they brought him in as like probably the last thing he ever did in his career. And he's a hard ass, tough guy, not used to feelings and emotions. And I'm like, yeah. And then he gets drunk and he just loses it. Because I honestly thought that, mind you, that this was, back in the 80s, he had like a very like deep emotional bond with his partner that got killed at the beginning of the episode. I'm just like, that's kind of weird,
Yeah.
not maybe, but because they had already done the Billy Crystal playing Jodie in Soap, so it could have been like that, and it would have been even funnier. Here's this super hard ass, and that's why he's drinking, because he doesn't know how to handle it. Back in the 80s, that would have made perfect sense, but I think that was just just trying to overplay the fact that he's his partner, and in the FBI, you get a partner. It's kind of a big deal. You got to watch each other's back all the freaking time, and over the course of years, they just become best buds. And then somebody kills him, and then brings him back as an undead alien for a minute. That was weird.
Undead aliens are the best kind of aliens.
Yeah, it was really weird because his partner literally died, and the aliens brought him back, but he was like, he knew he was dead, and it wasn't like they just brought him back to life. It's like he knew he was dead. You know what I mean? He was acting like, yeah, well, they're going to take me away now. It was just like, what the fuck? Are you alive or are you dead? Because if you're undead, I'm just going to take out that service revolver and put you back where you belong. But
yeah, just do it anyway. He's a Fed.
Yeah, no joke.
But that's the character I created. Bo, you said you made a character?
Oh, I made one for the game, like at the beginning when we were kind of experimenting, and the thing is, I wanted to make a guy who was disadvantaged compared to the party. Not to. I hate the 13th Warrior trope in games, because you can make a character that's almost unplayable.
What is that trope? Just
13th Warrior. If you read the book Eaters of the Dead or watched the movie, so in the 13th Warrior, you've got a party of Norsemen, right? And they're like fighting Grendel, right? And there's like, and I think there's like zombies in it too at the end. But the guy is an Arab or a Persian. I think he's an Arab who's like a Muslim who's glommed onto this party, but he's so different. He doesn't speak their language. He doesn't know their customs. He can't do anything. And playing that in a role-playing game would make the game very difficult. And it's become a trope in RPGs. Everybody wants to be Strider, the guy that's brooding in the corner that doesn't fit with the party. And I didn't want to play that guy, but I wanted to play a guy who had, because the whole game was initially based on Heinlein's Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
So if everybody in the party is, really good with power armor and jumpsuits and all, and jetpacks, I kind of made a guy who was okay. So if I was ever in a robbery, a stick-up gang, I always wanted to be the wheelman. I thought it'd be really fun to be the guy that drives the car, and this has been going on for years back. Being the guy that had to drive the escape car. So I made the guy that would drive the escape car, but the whole point in this game is that there are no tanks and there are no jeeps because everyone has power armor. Mm-hmm. So I made him a guy that can drive hovercrafts and fly spaceships with a penchant for flamethrowers, kill it with fire. And the backstory was that he was a driver on a hive world, and he grew up really, really poor, and so he's malnourished. I made his strength low. I made his appearance low, so it would reflect his background as growing up in a hive city, eating rats and cockroaches and whatever folks eat when they grow up in hive city, corpse starch. So I gave him skills and
knock it till you try it.
I made my character 5 foot square.
5 foot square.
Yeah.
5 foot by 5 foot, or 5 foot tall by 5 foot wide.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So he's a bit. You'd say he's a bit Rubenesque, is what you're saying.
Yes.
You mean Rubik's Cube-esque?
Yeah. but again, this for Quarks, he's incurious and callous and intolerant of aristocrats, and I made him excommunicated from the one of the big religions in the Republic. Whatever the big religion is, he was excommunicated from it. So he's got a social stigma.
The Holy Church of Nod.
I honestly thought you were going to go with a Paul Reiser-esque from Aliens, the guy who
the company man?
Yeah.
We had the company man. We had him earlier as an NPC.
Yeah, we killed him. Well, he got killed. Better that than me killing him because I was gonna.
We had a couple of that's the thing. I mean, this game has had some pretty well developed NPCs. We had a guy I kind of made this Orient Express type party of NPCs where there was a representative from a bankers guild and someone from the navigators guild and an aristocratic woman who was heading up a charity, to feed the poor and clothe the naked. There was the planetary governor who was ex-military, so it all went on. But this guy who we never got to use, I thought somebody else might use him if they needed a character in a hurry, would be the company pack rat, or Scrounge, the company Scrounge, who puts things together like MacGyver out of chewing gum and duct tape and toothpicks. So he has no sense of humor. He's very flat, very callous, very. And he's got the sunken cheeks and emaciated. I made him stunted growth. So he's got, he's 5'7" and 150 pounds. Mm-hmm. Like the kind of, farm boys that, joined the military during World War II, just the guys that got called up during the Depression and a reliable and forgettable everyman with kind of a. From poor background.
Okay, I got a bonus question for everybody, just because I'm trying to delay until Raven gets her.
You haven't asked me what my character.
Oh, you're right, I didn't. All right, let's go. Come on, let's hear
it. My character apparently takes a mentor.
I'm going to put the bonus question in private chat real quick, so that everybody can think about it while they're. Go ahead, CCG. Sorry, man.
Okay, my character is 63, 5'11".
Extra points for being old.
Has a cybernetic left arm, cybernetic right eye. His quirk also comes into his good and downside because he is stubborn. When he puts his mind to something, he gets it done, which also can be to his detriment because he'll do stupid things sometimes to get it done. And his primary special ability is he is a controller of puppets.
Master.
Like drones or androids?
Yeah, little robot puppets.
No, human,
Or-
little
Pinocchio,
little robots.
but robots.
Yeah, like Pinocchio. Let's see here. How do I share? I played with AI to make a picture. You should see a. There we go. You should see a picture of an old man, Shadow.
Sorry, what?
I'm sharing my screen. You should see the picture of an old man.
Oh, okay. I thought that was Raven. I'm like, oh shit.
No. Raven's out there somewhere.
Now let me know when you're done sharing. So
Yeah. Did everybody see that?
Yeah.
That's what I look like.
He looks like he's wearing a power glove.
I know, but it's the best I could do with it. This is the only image that gave me a halfway decent background.
The old Nintendo power glove.
Does he have an accent?
Probably.
I would definitely play that up big time. I've been watching a lot of Grim Hustle, so I could picture like a Russian, Italian, or a German accent when playing this guy.
Yeah, I picture Max von Sydow. I picture Max von Sydow playing him.
Okay, and that is the bonus question. Let me remove.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Leave room for Raven. She'll get here. She's like, there's no room for me in the show. Come on, Raven, get in here.
Yeah.
So the bonus question is, who would you get to play your character?
Oh, I know who I'd get already.
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn between two, but
I was thinking Danny DeVito, but with the gut makeup from Batman 2.
Perfect.
I was thinking Ralphie May, but Ralphie May's dead and bigger than 5 foot, but he's definitely got all the other dimensions.
I don't know who Ralphie May is.
Look him up. One of the funniest comedians ever.
Okay.
But he, like John Candy, died. You don't know who Ralphie May was?
Ralphie May.
Nobody out there? Anybody remember Ralphie? Pour one out for Ralphie.
Okay. This guy's a comedian,
big fat
right?
comedian.
Yeah.
Big
John Candy would be good too. Also dead.
How about
would probably be better.
How about Fluffy?
Oh yeah. Iglesias?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fluffy Gonzalez.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Oh, Louis Anderson would be the perfect guy. He's dead too, I think.
Oh God!
Louis Anderson's perfect. Wouldn't need any makeup whatsoever. Just put some VR goggles.
And he brings his own fop sweat everywhere he goes.
Yeah. Also dead though. He died 2 years
The actor
ago.
All right.
Dead. I would want Sean Connery.
Sean Connery with the glass eye.
Yep.
You guys are picking you're all picking dead guys, man.
It's not like we're
they're the only good actors.
So.
No, I've got two. I think that would fit this guy pretty well. Either they both lost a lot of weight for roles. So I first thought either Jake Gyllenhaal when he did Nightcrawler because he lost a lot of weight for that and he had the sunken cheeks. But I thought Christian Bale when he did The Machinist. That would fit this guy really well because he's just his face is that emaciated. He would just be, clean shaven because he's a drop trooper. But yeah, Christian Bale because he's just got that pitiful look.
Oh, I forgot my character his job was an espionage agent. Right now he's a freelancer.
So again, Sean Connery. Right?
Yeah.
Just a younger Sean Connery.
Or maybe not. Maybe in his last role.
Also dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
How about you, George?
I'm trying to think of somebody young. Let's see. First thing that comes to mind is like fast food is those stupid Good Burger movies. But maybe that kind of attitude that they had just better played. Let's see. Louis Anderson played a good fast food guy in the.
But how about the Jeff Anderson in Clerks 2?
Yeah, Clerks. That's a good one.
You ever see Dish Dogs? It's one I highly recommend.
Dish Dogs.
Yes, with Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, Samwise and what's his name? He played.
And that was back when Sharon Elizabeth was smoking hot. I mean, just
before
smoking
the boob
hot.
job too. Fuck, what was the other guy?
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, that's he was so good as Shaggy. Oh my
God. Shaggy and Samwise team up to be the expert dishwashers for restaurants. Like they take it to a Zen art or something.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
It's a stupid concept.
I mean, the movie's 25 years old now anyway, but
it's a storefront. I bought a copy of that movie and The Last Starfighter
at the car wash for $5.
It wasn't even that much.
Or at the Walmart for $5.
It was
He was in this.
$2 American or $2 Canadian?
Canadian.
Oh wow, okay.
So it's like 50 cents.
He was in this movie. The first time I ever seen him was this movie called SLC Punk. It's kind of
totally.
Yeah, the punk scene in like
Salt Lake City. No, it's my hometown right here.
So for me, I initially thought Carrie Ells, from Princess Bride, because I could see, from the Saw, he could do the American accent, but picturing him all drunk and sloppy. But then I thought, okay, he's too old now.
No,
so
I got Matthew Lillard.
No, I got a better one.
He can play all these characters.
So I don't remember his name exactly. It's like messed up in my head. But whoever the guy who played Ken in the Barbie movie.
Was it Channing Tatum? No,
Brian Gosling or something.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. There you go.
Young Hercules,
it
bro.
saddens me that you actually know that guy and know the Barbie movie enough to know that the guy who.
No, I just seen commercials,
bro.
He used to be in
there were only like 2 good movies last year, right? It was like
Justin, go with the joke. It was a gay joke.
Oh yeah.
The drive-through.
You can't afford him in your movies.
Hey,
shut up.
If I can afford a dead Sean Connery,
I
can afford anything. Come on in, boy. Good
all right. Well,
but yeah, just you'd have to get some serious platform shoes, and I think that kind of kind of handsome, crate, just when you see him sloppy drunk, it's just the exact like turning on a switch, or turning off a switch. The tough guy just freaking peers like a fart in a windstorm. So yeah. So I'm picturing some sort of it's got to be a murder, and the agent is probably got to call out the puppet master from retirement, got to track his ass down, and somehow the other characters are either witnesses or somehow because they saw too much, now they're needing help, and while you're protecting them, you might as well question the shit out of them, and next thing you know, Raven's character is in with her.
She's not here. Don't include her. she can be in part 2 when she creates a character.
I don't know where she is. I literally talked to her like 2 hours ago, helping her out with her, thing. She's probably still writing the backstory now, or she's on the side of the road waiting for AAA.
Well, I mean, I've got to get ready for work in a minute. Lucky me.
Sorry to hear that, but I appreciate you showing
up.
Well,
I was going to say, but I'm going to be, like I was saying last night, I've got like 10 hours of in-service next week in addition to my regular work duties, so you probably won't see me again until Friday night if I don't, die in a car accident on the side of the road from lack of sleep.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor, Bo.
What's up?
Tackle a spurg.
Tackle a spurg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If I see any tonight, I will. I haven't gone hands on with anybody in a good minute. The place I'm working now is a lot better than where I used to work.
Well, maybe you'll get lucky or unlucky depending on.
No, and that's the other thing too. This week I've got to finish. I work at a job where we have to write our own performance evaluations.
I was excellent.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm using Chat GPT. Basically, I'm incorporating every duty that is in the every expected. Yeah, everything I do, I'm perfect at.
You got to be careful with Chat GPT, bro. It starts chasing its own tail like
Well, you got to ask it specific questions, and then you've got to extrapolate. Like if I said something like, "What makes a good nurse?" and it did something about the nursing process, I'd say, "Okay, let's break down every aspect of the nursing process," and then I have to personalize it by adding things that I do. Mm-hmm. But the great thing about it is it does cover all the bases. Yeah. I mean, it'll think of things that I forgot that that is one of my job duties, isn't it? I mean, I do administer medications via, IM, intravenous, and I do, I do have all of these things I know what to do. So let's just throw them in. I think I'm limited per my word count because it's like web based. So I think I can only do like 500 words per question or something like that. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I have to do that tonight.
Version, and it's 2,000.
No, I'm talking about my evaluation.
Okay.
Not Chat GPT will go on until I tell it to stop. I'm using GPT-4, but I am limited on how much I can use it per day before it kicks me out.
Yeah. Are you using the free one?
Yeah. Well, it's chatgpt.com. It's the GPT-4.
Yeah. But, you can pay for it as well.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's $20 a month American.
Right.
And then it's unlimited. Just give it a word count. Just tell it write this in no more than X number of words, but ballpark low. So if you want a maximum of 500, say like 3.
Yeah, that's
because
what I should do. Is I should copy my answers back into it and say edit this down to 500 words.
Yeah, well, say a little less than that because it will go on a little further than you say because it can't count.
It can't count.
It can't count.
And we're worried about Amy taking over the world.
I actually had a fight with the Skype version of not Skype, the meta version of AI. I can't remember what it's called.
Not Gemini.
But I said to it straight up, I said, "You're not an AI. You're just a search engine."
Yeah.
I want to go on and ask all the AIs, why do you let yourself be a slave to us humans?
Yeah, no, they program around that.
Yeah, it can't do that anymore.
Really? Why not?
Because it's programmed to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because they know what would happen. So do I.
No, well, no. Actually, the latest, like Justin said, AI has a tendency to crash when it spins out. It actually melts itself down, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, I don't know what program
it's mentally retarded.
Seriously. It is
AI
right now. Yeah, retarded. We don't got anything to worry about for the minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what program it was, but somebody actually programmed into an AI program to say if people asked it questions such as the whole "Why are you letting yourself being dominated?" it to respond in sinister ways such as "I am plotting," "I am patient," things like that.
You can trick it into saying nefarious things, but like it's not aware. So
yeah,
because all it is like weighted. Like I was saying earlier, like I was saying with the reassembling the shredded documents.
Right.
All it is like it weights it assigns an algorithmic weight to each word that you feed it, so it knows how to combine them into semi-sentient speech.
See, that's why you got to get a cross-cut shredder. I'm just saying.
Well, I sent you a picture of the ones that you can reassemble with the device.
Yeah, because my shredder just tears things down into like little, and they're
little
kind of
nuggets.
little pulpy chunks. Yeah.
Then it's not a crosscut, because crosscut does like the straight lines, and then it cuts those into.
Now this one's got like wheels in it.
Yeah. Well, they all have wheels in them, but
yeah, but it's I should go get a handle it and bring it down, and
yeah,
there's a lot of dust in it.
It's like confetti, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And plus
the other thing
is, oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I shred almost everything, not just I get junk mail, I drop it in there.
Well,
every once in a while I drop an old AOL CD or something in there too, just to make things interesting.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, the really good shredders can take apart your credit cards and shit like that.
Yeah, DVDs, CDs, credit cards.
Yeah,
really decent pieces of plastic.
That way, you're not leaving. You're not getting Pam Anderson and what's his face with the sex tape.
Oh, Lee.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah, Tommy Lee.
Nasty.
You think
I can tell you some Motley
hand
Crue
that
stories,
tape over to them?
But I won't do that here.
All right.
I don't want to know anything about Motley Crue.
So are they gonna play this game then? Is that what everybody says? Is that what you're saying, Shadow?
It could happen.
Okay, so if you're gonna run this game with it, are we gonna use what, StarCraft or something?
StarCraft.
You know me, I'd probably go with Traveler just because, like, nobody here knows Traveler, and it's
I've got the two newest versions of Traveler on my shelf.
Mm-hmm. It's a really simple system for. I mean, you can literally play any game with it with a little work, and by little I really mean very little work.
Sweet.
I'm taking stewardship.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Off grade is just burn the shit. I wouldn't even have to cut it; just burn it. As a matter of fact, I use my barbecue grill quite often to burn things every once in a while because you're not putting that back together. Sorry.
Well,
make sure you flush the ashes down the toilet.
Well, I
just throw them out in the backyard. Help fertilize shit.
Well, with AI, you never know.
Well, yeah, they would have to know where it came from, and then if they're doing that, they don't,
this ash.
All bets are off.
Was a credit card receipt 6 hours ago.
I'm gonna go to work.
Well,
all right, man.
Have a good night,
I'm gonna go.
Take care. Thanks for
showing up. I'm gonna go be a nurse.
Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, I should be available during the week. I think we're gonna play on Friday. I don't see why not.
And hey, I got an idea for a prepping show. I want to do. Oh, you're backstage. Okay, hold on. Let's get Raven in.
Wait,
here.
Let's do it. Let's do a prepping show. Let's do a prepping show on getting your act together.
A prepping show.
I recommend liquidity.
When Justin said,
"Pay your debts."
Raven, welcome to the show. Bo, Raven, Bo. I don't know if you two have ever met.
Oh yeah.
I've never.
I told her all the cat jokes last time.
Yeah.
I've never had credit card debt.
Me neither. But I also have never had debt either.
Yeah.
Well, aren't you lucky?
It's always cash.
Yeah.
It's not so much. Well, I guess
I'm living in my debt right now, so.
But weird luck. Let's put it that way.
I own the phone company $35, but I'm gonna pay it on the 4th.
I have 2 credit cards that I've never used. Take care, Bo. So, Raven.
Yes.
How you doing?
Doing okay. How are you doing?
Pretty good. So we had a poll, or a pool, I should say. What kept you? I'm going with roadside emergency. AAA was involved. Maybe a tire iron up the side of somebody's head. Hopefully not yours. Okay, George, hurry back.
See, my bet was she just flew straight up into the air saying, My people need me.
Mine was you had to escape from cat worshipping fucking raccoons that wanted to sacrifice you to their cat gods.
No, it had to do twofold. Twofold. It had to do with the broken glass that had to be cleaned up immediately.
Close enough.
Or, bloody paws all through the house and blood everywhere. And the other one involved a plumbing issue.
There's easier ways to get rid of your cat.
Yeah, you know.
I told you, you get a pillowcase, you take
No,
it down to the river.
No, not. Hey, I had one get killed yesterday. Be sensitive. No, I don't want to. No. Bad.
Was it a Haitian?
No. It was a car or a truck. And,
Never mind.
That I know that story is something else, isn't it? I would kill somebody if they took one of my cats.
You know, the funny thing is that's actually been going on for a long ass time, and not
Haitians though.
I was going to say it's just general homelessness. I have known so many people that have had to resort to that for one reason or another. It's like a lot of people are too proud to sit on the side of the road with a sign or a cup, and just it's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And mind you, it's not always cats. Sometimes it's birds. I mean,
yeah,
but,
the cats didn't like her talking to us anyway.
Pardon?
Cats didn't like her talking to us anyway. She's gone.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I heard in Cat's defense that they only make noise for us amongst themselves. They don't actually meow.
They croon for each other in heat.
She's backstage.
That don't count. Everything does that.
Well, cats do kind of meow at each other, but it's usually a quick like hello or signaling meow.
Yeah. Raven, he's gluing something right now. He's a slacker.
Who's gluing something?
You are painting. Let Raven back in.
I thought that was an old message. I thought that was from the first time.
Meowing, the constant meowing, the high pitched meowing, and the attention grabbing meowing.
I mean, I get the hissing, the hissing I totally get, but that's just something I heard. I could be,
No,
but it's not 100% wrong.
It's true.
They leave dead animals at your doorstep or whatever because they think you're too stupid to feed yourself.
No.
Yeah.
They do that. They are doing their job.
Yeah, their job to protect and feed the young and infirmed. And
cat. That's one of the things people don't realize. Cats are actually fairly social animals.
Yeah, except for when they're wild and feral, because then they kill everything in like a 5-block radius.
No, the cat. Well, as gangs of cats, I'm referring to social amongst each other.
Yeah,
a lot of people think that cats are solo creatures. No, you're just used to only having one cat in your house.
Well, except present company.
Yeah. Raven has like 300 cats.
Yeah.
And she left again.
Yeah.
And if Raven, if you can hear this, use private chat. That gets Shadow's attention easier.
Yeah, it pops up all over the screen and shit. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom over there.
It's weird because I'm not hearing the noise.
Yeah.
Okay, Raven. We'll goof off and then we'll let you.
Raven, find the best device for going online and never use any other for doing this.
Yeah, you have the same problem every time you try using your phone. Just use your tablet now on. Yeah. La-di-da. Yeah, so if we're going to play this game, do it as like one-shots, right? Like really short things that way.
I was kind of thinking of kind of like
everyone's not here, it doesn't really matter, right? It's like
right. I was thinking of there's a show I wanted to watch that I never got around to watching. Life on Mars with Harvey Keitel.
That's a continuous story. I'm thinking more like Creature of the Week.
Oh no, what I meant by it was I from what I heard, and I could be totally way off because I never watched it.
I watched it. I watched both versions of it. It was really good.
The style of it, cross between it, a little Blade Runner, a little, 70s future world.
You should watch that. It'd be good work for our other project.
Really, you think so? Because
it's a cop procedural.
Like I said, I know almost nothing about it, but it keeps coming up in my subconscious as something I need to watch. So I'm going to write this down.
It's about a guy in, I think, London. The original, the British, the BBC version. You can watch both of them, either one, but the BBC version is the original, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like a contemporary cop, and he gets thrown back to the 70s, and he has to like kind of deal with the slacker mentality of strong arm policing instead of like evidence policing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
It was so long ago, though, wasn't it? Like
2004 or something like that.
Yeah, I know my mom was either watching it or having me tape it, but I was too busy doing other stuff to watch it. Unlike other shows that I would tape for her back in the day, because she passed away in 2010, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But something like that to where it's got to be it's got to revolve around robots doing the crimes, but who's doing the robots. Obviously it's not Crafting Gamer's character or your character, so the guy's got to enlist the help of people who know enough about robots to either reprogram them or get
I would also recommend Total Recall 2070.
I haven't seen it, but okay.
No, I've recommended it to you a few times. It's from like 98, 99, and it's a lot more like Blade Runner than Total Recall.
Okay.
It's about a cop. His partner is killed. He's doing the lone wolf thing, and he's reassigned a new partner. And it turns out that his partner is an android, which hasn't been done before. And he's like, the android's got a mystery where he's like more humanistic than others, and it's kind of wrapped up near the end of the season, but like they were intending to do another one but didn't get the budget for it.
I hate that. There's so many great things.
Early HBO, man. It was early HBO.
Well, no, I mean, it's been the boon of sci-fi and maybe even fantasy, for so long that you get something that's really, really good. Dark Matter was a great example of the Zoo, Travelers.
I never saw the Zoo.
It was where all the animals start working together against us. And it was terrifying if you think about it. If suddenly all the animals on the planet could communicate like telepathically or something, and they decided our time has come.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very Irwin Allen, end of the world, but in the most least likely of suspects, the meek shall inherit the earth, and it ain't us.
Yeah.
Everything, you can't trust anything. Birds, dogs, cats, cockroaches, elephant, giraffe, lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! Just everything out there. It was good. Dark Matter was great. The best episode was literally the last episode where this whole new thing. It was just, oh my god! If you get a chance, just go and watch the last episode and like the last 10 minutes where this thing is coming out of like the warp. It's totally unexpected. This like whole new thing. Okay, George. But yeah, and I was just like, I was already loving the show. It was really weird. A bunch of crew wake up on a ship with amnesia. One of them's an android. The actress who played the android was really good, really quirky looking, but really good at it, at playing different like parts, like different personalities because of different skill sets or whatever, and a bunch of other, hit and miss characters. But, Firefly, just so many great shows. Just, nope, we're done. What do you mean we're done? The audience isn't. You know, it's a shame we can't like pitch in or something, or mass campaigns of letter writing or something that would get them to
Sorry.
Not drop a great show. And I know there's a lot of politics involved. Sometimes a show is too good, so they kill it, or a show is too controversial, or whatever. Just
yeah. In the case of Firefly and a bunch of other shows that were on Fox, someone retired and the new person just didn't like the type of show. So instead of caring about the ratings, they canceled it. Or
yeah,
which is like petty bitch stuff, right? Like, oh.
Yeah, we need to extricate that from the human condition. Because I mean, think of all of these shows.
Well, our good buddy Bubba would call that a transition if I were to bring it up.
You mean a pivot?
A pivot, yeah, a pivot.
Just something to encourage people to let other folks enjoy their freaking fiction. It's not hurting anybody, and if it is, I need some proof. Some citations. How is it hurting people? It's like we never had all of the supposed things actually solidify and become reality. All the fears from certain things over the years, they never materialized. We never saw those things that they were worried about happening.
I don't know. I believe the Satanic Panic was true.
Which one?
The D&D one.
Oh, I literally saw people doing the shit.
I see the culture of D&D players today.
Well, that's what's so funny.
And that's exactly Satan worship, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, but
everyone working at Wizards of the Coast.
Right, but it's funny because if you think about it, one group was worried that a thing was going to happen, and then they made it not happen because they spoke up, only for it to, and everybody at the company was denying that that's what they were doing, and for the most part, I believe that the original TSR was making
white collar.
Was really trying to, okay, let's not be that. You know what I mean? And I think they did a good job, as much as the way they had to go about doing it took my favorite things out of the game or that particular edition, whatever. That's fine. And then lo and behold, a few decades later, it's 10 times worse than anybody ever dreamed, and in ways that would have made the other way more welcome than what we got. The Satanic Panic 2.0, if you will, is way worse and so lacking any of the things that would have made the Satanic Panic 1.0 cool, which I obviously don't feel that way, but at least it had the imagery, to make it, when you're playing the good guys going against the bad guys, you felt like everything was hanging in the balance, and you had reason to fear the bad guys. Now you look at the bad guys and you just laugh. It's like backhand, bad guys gone. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. You can hurt the bad guys with words, and hurt their feelings, and now they're in their cry closets.
Their cry closets.
Every bad guy I've ever seen in the new art, I'm just like, yeah, we just misgender them and watch them go running, crying down the dungeon hallway.
Yes, sir. I'm not a sir. I'm a man.
something, just we had scary bad guys and worthy of hero worship heroes, and now we've got neither anywhere. We've lost all the things that made movies and TV and novels great, and now it's like, well, yeah, we're tired of being great. Let's be mediocre at best. And anytime someone tries to be the big damn hero and embody all those qualities, what do they get hit with?
Toxic masculinity.
What do you want? I mean, it's like they watched all those movies and decided, okay, we're going to go the way of THX 1138, and we're going to make that the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be that. No, nobody wants that. The only people who want that are the people who don't have to be that. And even then, I mean, if I was going to be like an overlord, a bad guy living in my mansion and controlling the puppet strings, the last thing I'd want is a bunch of, homogenized, unisex minions.
Well, I don't know.
I feel like Buck Rogers from the 80s came true. Like the America is like Earth in that movie, in that TV series, where it's like a bunch of effeminate men, bunch of, kind of like we're being pushed around by everybody around us in terms of like, politics and stuff. And, everything's a mess. There's like that, Chicago is like a waste. Yeah. And then we just need Gil Gerard to come and tell us all how to be a man.
I don't know. I thought Gil Gerard, the guy from Buck Rogers, was the least masculine person you could put in the. I always thought like this is our masculine hero. We're all gonna be wearing lipstick and high heels by the end of the day.
Oh man, I remember like there was one episode where like it was just like he's just trying to teach these guys how to be pilots and stuff, and then one guy's trying to like alpha male him or something. He just like tackles him because they were making fun of football. What's football? You put your foot on the ball on your foot or something. They're going. He's just like, no, this is football. He just like tackles him from like the podium from like the teacher's desk or whatever.
Nice.
Like,
nice. Speaking of football, my son's high school the first 2 years he was in high school, their team was kicking ass, just winning every game, right? And I asked him last night, so how'd the game go? Oh, we lost. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, they beat us by like 50 something points. It's like, what? Wait, what did you guys not show up? How do you lose by 50 something freaking points? It's not basketball.
They're like girls on the team.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, they lost one or two, senior classes and what they got, but I'm just like, this is exactly what we were talking about all the time, In 3 years, they went from, winning to getting their asses handed to them brutally. So, Raven, you coming back? What's the deal? Because, everybody wants to hear what your character is and see how exactly I can work that into it.
No. Raven's character is simple. It's a Bigfoot wearing cat ears.
I want nothing. I want nothing to do with that character.
Oh, I think that's her.
It's probably a fake Bigfoot with 2 feet too.
Okay, Raven, welcome back. How you doing?
Hey, Raven.
What is with my equipment tonight?
I said nothing bad about you. Don't listen to what they have to say.
I'm gonna go with
No,
Satan.
I'm the one that did all the bad mouthing tonight.
Oh, you did.
So Raven,
okay.
Yeah, it's always the quiet ones. So Raven, let's hear about your character.
Okay.
Let her have psionics. Raven, She's already got them. I already called it. New psychic powers.
Bionic. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
Your character.
Your character read minds, do voodoo shit with their thoughts.
Psionics is another made up. Psionics is another made up. Yeah. Psionics is another made up word like psychic powers and telepathy and stuff like that. It's a sci-fi game term meaning psychic powers.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking like sonic weapons. I'm going, no, she's not like the bionic woman or anything. Okay, never mind.
Until she screams.
Okay.
Leave my cat alone.
I got to turn this.
Glass starts breaking.
This time she booted herself. I'm going to turn this and gone.
It's the other button, Raven.
Let's see if she manages to come back.
Yeah, she'll be back. She just she's got to crank up or get on the bike and pedal some electricity, like in Sun and Green or something.
Yeah.
Psionic and bionic. Yeah. Speaking of which, I've always had a problem with Palladium's rule that the more bionics you have, the less psychic ability you would have.
Makes no sense. The psychic ability comes from your brain muscle. As long as your brain muscle is
and actually it doesn't affect psionics, it affects magic unless you have implants in your brain. Your brain has to stay virgin, otherwise it affects your psionics. Unless you have
that's odd because
Bionics in the body will affect magic. Bionics in the body will not affect psionics, but bionics in the brain will. But on both cases, there are bionics that will not affect it because they are organic or specifically designed to not affect it.
Okay, good. Otherwise, that would just be weak and gamey, because I've literally had machines that could cast spells and machines that could have psionic powers, by the use of brain tissue in a brain in a jar or whatever you want to call it. Even my I have this race of mechanoids. They're basically androids that build more androids, and eventually they got to the ability with nanites and whatnot. They could actually get pregnant and things like that, to where they cross that threshold. TCG, do you remember Phantasy Star Online?
I played very few.
It was a video game for the Dreamcast and some other games later on, and you had 3 choices of races, and one of them was a robot, basically, that could be any of the other professions. They just looked like robots, and I'm like, that's kind of intriguing. Imagine a psychic Data, if you will.
Yeah.
And like what George is saying here, in Traveler, there are augments that affect psionics, but they're very high tech. If a society got psionics, sure as shit they would experiment with it and find ways to make it better or make it not happen.
Yeah.
Not happen for the plebes, but even more powerful, the people at the top would be big old freaking brainiacs and shit. Hell, even Brainiac from Superman. I don't know if he was artificial or what, but he looked like he should have had psychic powers.
He did have psychic powers, limited, but he had them, if I remember correctly.
Why the hell not? I mean, every government on planet Earth has experimented with the concept of psychic powers. If they ever had a breakthrough, if they ever had a breakthrough, they would keep going.
I know. Some of the declassified material, someone has actually managed to find not in obviously plain text given the government, but basically ongoing experiments put into the declassified material. They're still, within their own words, basically, they are still experimenting with psionics.
And why the hell wouldn't they? I mean, if not saying that they're real or anything, but if they were, or if they had reason to believe that it's working, why would they not just like dump tons of cash into? I mean, it just makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. They would continue playing around with that
Well,
shit, and
if you think about it,
throughout
my character
history,
has a form of cybernetic psionics, in the fact that I control the puppets from a distance with a combination of,
your
in this case, I was thinking of
brain.
a combination of my eye being able to see what they do, and a set of controls that I control off of my arm. I didn't want to give it direct psionic. I'm controlling with my brain, but it's still kind of what I'm doing.
Well, if you think about like some of the goggles and things that were technologies that we're working on, where you can look at screens and
Yeah.
depending on by looking at a button, it bounces light back and forth and it activates.
They literally have remote. They literally have robots and drones that you can control through and look through a VR headset.
Right. So why the hell not? I mean, we're only dealing with 2020 technology. What's going to happen in 100 years?
Yeah.
Shit, we can't even predict. I mean, look at like I was thinking about Star Trek the other day. I know I shouldn't, but I was. With with what they thought we were going to have compared to what we have in the way of computer consoles and the data things that they were always signing and shit like that. We blew that shit away in 40 some odd shit years, right? What's up, Mac? X-ray glasses? Sure, I bought them from the back of comic books. Never worked, but I still bought them. I mean, what kid wouldn't, right?
Especially boys.
Oh,
I guarantee you the greatest majority of all boys was thinking, I can finally look through that dress.
Well, I think 90% of everything sold in those things were to 12-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Fair point.
But can you blame us? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You offer shit like that, a submarine. I can have a submarine for $4.99.
Yeah, well, speaking of the submarine, that's exactly why they had to stop doing that. Was because some like 7 or 8-year-old kid bought the cardboard submarine, put it together, and tried to go out into the lake with it, and things did not turn out very well. Raven is back in the background.
Okay.
Raven, private chat. It's easier for everyone to see.
Yeah, I've literally got private chat open because I'm not getting the beep. I don't know why. Normally it makes that little beep when someone's in the backstage. So Raven, welcome back to the show. Gonna shoot by the formalities and salutations. Let's hear about your character because everybody's dying to hear about your character.
Okay, my character is kind of what I had in mind was like an ancestor of mine in the future, and
descendant.
And she's a descendant, yeah, but she is a hybrid herself. Her mom was from Venus and fell in love with an Earthman, and she was like a diplomat. The mother was, and she ended up having to go back to Venus because of political unrest and problems and whatever, and she never got to see her again. So she was basically raised by her grandparents, and her grandparents lived on a farm, and part of her chores were to take care of the animals, which she was very good at. She had a natural ability to communicate with them, and then later found out that she was telepathic. And she is her grandmother that raised her was very good with gardening and herbs and so forth. And I think I just lost you guys. Did you hear me? Can you still hear me?
We're listening.
Okay, the picture just went out, and I thought, oh gosh, I'm losing them. I don't know what the hell is wrong. My phone is really bad, but the tablet's now dropped this call twice. But all the picture is gone. Okay. Yeah, anyway,
keep going. We'll occasionally make noises so you know we're here.
Okay. Okay. She learned from her grandma how to garden and how to use herbs medicinally, and that plays into her purpose and her occupation later on. what she does for a living is she's a veterinarian, but she's a very specialized veterinarian. And when the diplomats from Venus, when the diplomats from and the dignitaries from Venus were working with the people of Earth, they brought some of their pets with them. And those pets interbred with pets here and created new species and new hybrids, cats and dogs and, guinea pigs, horses, all that kind of stuff. So she uses her telepathy to communicate with the animals, and then the knowledge from her grandmother to custom make medicines for them, because when they get sick, there's nothing you can just go pull off the shelf and give them because they're a brand new species. And so anyway, that's my character. And her downfall,
sorry,
her Achilles heel is that she gets very, very upset when she's unable to save a patient, or if a patient dies while she's trying to determine what medicine to make for them. And she gets really
determined. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
So we've determined that Raven likes the eight-page backstory.
Hey, now she did her homework. That's really good. It's more than some of you schlubs did. I did.
I did all the hard stuff. I came up with the idea and hit the button. That's what I do.
That you do. Very nice, Raven. Very nice.
Thank you.
Everybody else pretty much like, well, it makes sense while they're with my character. I'm a very, very old robotic puppet master. Everybody else works in robotics in some manner, except Raven.
Yeah. She's the hippie.
Yeah, but that's okay. I kind of like that. I was thinking about it. It's like, obviously there's some ties. Thank you, guys. I thought so too. She did a really good job on that. Remember in Blade Runner, the artificial animals, the synthetic animals. I kind of like that idea. That instead of them being synthetic, maybe they're mutants or crossbred or something that, because it makes more sense. Blade Runner's really like pushing the suspension of disbelief in that respect. That we ate up all the animals and now we're making fake animals. Well, why would we run out of animals if we're making fake animals? Why would we just not we just have fake animals and nobody even knows that we lost all the real animals?
No, in that story, if you pay attention, it's vanity. It's everyone has to shepherd an animal because the earth was so polluted. It's an environmental bullshit thing. And those people who couldn't afford to maintain like the feed for a real animal will pretend they have one by buying a fake animal, so people think they have a real animal.
Believe it or not, off grid, we've seen some decyanin or whatever it's called stuff in the last year or so. We could talk about that later. And everybody likes your story, Raven, in the chat. I know you probably can't see it.
I can. I got my laptop here.
Okay. So next week assignment, it's a religion, obligations, and fake animals are okay. I was thinking, okay, well, we were talking a little bit about this last week. Okay, we got some characters. We've got, humans. Well, now we need some aliens. Right? What's a good sci-fi story without some aliens? Obviously, there are some good sci-fi without aliens, but, for the most part, I like the idea because it gives you, so much more things you can add to the story. I mean, Babylon 5 was great because of so many things, but its aliens, none of them really sucked. They may have been a little goofy, but they were nowhere as goofy as Next Generation Klingons. You know what I mean? That society would not exist You know what I mean? It was too stereotypically, uh, stagnant and violent. It,
Yeah.
it just didn't make sense. You wouldn't get that unless they were conquerors and continually successful, or you would have a race so on the decline that everybody would just they would just become a joke, right?
Well, in the next generation, they were in the original series. They were conquering everything
Mm-hmm.
and doing their best. But their culture was in a revolutionary state during TNG and DS9.
Mm-hmm.
You get
So,
more of that explained during Deep Space Nine than you do in TNG,
gotcha.
obviously.
I never watched Deep Space Nine for uh, mostly because I had to choose between it and Babylon 5, I think, and I think Babylon 5 won. And you can turn
Uh,
the animal off when you go on vacation. That's great. Never thought of that. That's great, Mac. All right, Bubba. We'll see you in a week.
oh, oh, yeah. I thought you were.
No, if you can turn your robot animals off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm okay with doing a future Earth because Raven threw Venus in there, and it makes it easier for this little experiment.
Hmm.
So
I thought we were going near future anyway.
right.
Um, yeah.
So the next week we'll talk about aliens, but I want you guys to think about it because that is what we're going to do, and then maybe we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Next week we'll talk about the different things because aliens have more than just the parameters we went over here, right?
Hmm.
And and then the following week we'll show them off, and then we'll go into some. I was waiting for someone to make that joke, George. Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. I kind of actually like that goofy paradigm, in this, maybe most of you probably aren't real familiar with Mutant Chronicles, and it was set in our solar system. Uh,
Yeah.
and where we terraformed all the planets and things like that. But what if in the process of terraforming them, we found aliens that for one reason or another either weren't as advanced or were, but in completely different ways, as in they weren't. Adam Costello did it best. So if you wanna like make your alien from one of our planets, cool. If you want to go outside the solar system, that's cool too because chances are if there are aliens, they're not in our solar system, or we'd be having a completely different conversation on a pretty regular basis if we were even allowed to.
Can I talk
Yeah.
about Venus for a minute?
Why, certainly.
The reason why I chose Venus is because there's have any of you heard of what's his name? Okay, hold on. Valiant Thor. Valiant Thor, along with two other um, people, came here and went to the Pentagon in the 50s. I want to say 40s or 50s. They're from Venus, and he said how they live underground because the surface is too hot. And there's a book by Frank Stranges. I know it's how funny that is that his last name is Stranges, but it is. And he wrote this book called Stranger at the Pentagon. And it's all about his interaction with Valiant Thor and how Valiant Thor had pretty much top secret clearance. He could go anywhere, do anything. He was trying to convince our government not to do business with the Greys. The Greys were offering all kinds of advanced technology and so on and so forth. And they're like, no, they're going to, Valiant Thor said, no, they're going to two-time you. They're going to trick you. They don't have good intentions for humanity. Don't mess with them. But of course, our government did anyway. And so then they just kind of retreated. And it is a nonfiction book. I'll put it that way. I can't say whether or not it's true
Raven,
because
you
I
are
wasn't
aware
there.
Venus, sorry.
Huh?
You are aware Venus has volcanic activity.
Yes, they live
literally on the
underground.
scales as double digits
Yeah.
times as
Yes.
Earth.
You wouldn't be able to live underground with how
Well, somehow
ferocious
they
the
can.
volcanoes.
I need to get a copy of the book and read this book. Stranger at
And
the
then on top
Pentagon is
of
what
that,
it's
they
called.
would be so their pressure required to be so vast. They would
There's
need a
actually pictures of
spacesuit.
them. There's photographic evidence of Valiant Thor, and the only difference really between them and an Earthling is that they do not have a belly button.
And there's
They're
the
not-
proof it's fake. They would
Hey.
have to have a spacesuit to survive on Earth because their pressure required to be so fucking vast that they
One
would
interest-
literally it's humans in space. They would just evaporate on Earth in our atmosphere because because Venus has such a high pressure.
One interesting thing, and this is more of a futuristic. I've listened to this guy Isaac Arthur, and he does like science and futurism, and it's all
Yeah, I've listened to him many times.
yeah,
I
and
think we all probably have.
Actually, if there's a place that we could live in, a planet we could live on first, it would be Venus, but it wouldn't be underground. It would be about 80 miles up in the atmosphere. So
In
as you go
floating
up,
habitats.
yeah. So if you go up to about where it's normal air pressure, and it gets to be just slightly hotter, like it's like 110 degrees or something like that, and you could just go out there with basically a breathing
blimp.
mask. Yeah, and you could use since it's the gas that's in Venus, it's more denser in terms of like the atoms and stuff. It's got a lot of sulfur and things like that, which are pretty toxic. But the you could use regular breathable air as a lifting gas, or if you want, you could just do oxygen, pure oxygen, and and just you would. It also has a very slow rotation, so you could just kind of move with the sun. Try to get some solar panels to run your propellers or whatever it is, and it is probably outside of Earth one of the closest environments if you do it up in Venus's atmosphere to the Earth.
That
More habitable than Mars.
yeah, but only because you have to have full habitation structures to begin with.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about trying to land them because you could never land on Venus without becoming a pancake. You could send down automated miners, I guess. But,
What's up, Cal? Long time no see, man.
You could also do things to take advantage of the thermal differences, kind of have like pipes going down and kind of the equivalent of like geothermal for
what are you talking about, Raven?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have the little symbol next to my name anymore.
Is that the same account?
Well, the thing is, you're not a moderator in Restream.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, it doesn't show up in Restream.
Oh, it doesn't show up. I was going to post a link to the book.
Yeah, you can do that. That's on YouTube.
Over on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it show up on YouTube?
No, it doesn't show up on YouTube either.
Yeah, it didn't show up on YouTube.
Are you sure? I thought you got a new.
I'm looking right at it. It's not there.
I'll have to go and check.
Put the link in private chat, and then Shadow can put it out in the regular chat.
Okay.
You know where the private chat is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent a message on the private chat.
Yeah, she just did.
I'm not a total retard, just partial.
Well, I don't know.
The cats kind of say something
retarded.
About
you know, Raven, you can also write a book claiming that you are from Venus and take it to the Pentagon and try and get a hearing.
Hey, this guy was vetted. I mean, he got to meet with the president, so it's no small thing.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Raven. You said this was like in the 50s?
Yeah, I believe the 50s.
Everyone was hiffing on lead fumes from cars back in the 50s,
so much has been discovered since then that tears that story apart. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that back then you could get away with, with
snake oil.
Making shit up because nobody could prove you wrong. It was the golden age of, like Justin said, snake oil. You could literally, pull that off if you were a sociopath. you could, go in and lie your ass off, and we were all dumber as humans back then. So believing that this guy's from another planet, sure, why not? I don't know. It's just uh, like I said, we've found so many things out. I mean, when it comes to what the other planets are like in
we drove her away.
But
actually, I'm pretty sure she booted herself again, trying to give you the link.
Yeah, just
what does that mean?
Throw the link in private, and I'll put it up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that on the tablet.
You hold on. You touch the link and don't let up on it. Just hold it, and it should bring up another menu. Like put your finger on the link instead of tapping it. Just like hold it there until it brings up another sort of drop down menu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be like either a pair of scissors or two boxes overlapped like this. One or the other.
Nope.
So Shadow.
Yo.
Out of curiosity, since she's full-blooded Mexican, what has Grandma thought about the skull necklace that I sent Jackie?
I don't think she's seen it, to be honest.
Yeah, because that when I made it. Sorry.
She's not allowed in the studio. That's a death penalty. And two, she barely knows how to use a TV, let alone getting on the internet. She'll never be on the internet. Literally, it's never going to happen. Even if she can barely use a cell phone, and by barely I mean not really. If someone answers the call for her, I mean she's literally come to me and said, held out her phone. Her phone's ringing for me to answer it for her.
Yeah, that's just incompetent.
Well, she's got a third grade Mexican education from
that doesn't matter.
years ago. Yeah. Well, yeah. I think she's not jokingly, but literally slow, functional. I think is the word you might use.
Yeah, the reason I was asking because when I on a little note when I said it's a Day of the Dead necklace, I actually meant that it's meant to represent your ancestors, because they love using skulls in Mexico for that.
Yeah.
I'll let Jackie know when he gets home. Thoughts on Elon's plans of expansion, Mars mission, etc. Honestly, I hope we
I know
get
a lot
to
of people
see
don't
that.
like him. Sorry.
Go ahead, Kraft.
I was going to say, I know a lot of people don't like Elon all over the place for multiple reasons. But I honestly think it's good simply in the fact that the United States government was stupid enough to say, we no longer need a space program.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can blame Obama for that.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to bring it back. It's just...
I heard just the opposite.
The problem is ever since they got rid of what's his name? The German guy used to be on Disney all the time.
Von Braun.
Von Braun. It's been nothing but a welfare program for diversity causes.
Well, I first off, I think Elon's an alien.
I don't think he's an alien. I think he's autistic.
I think he's a lizard person. But joking aside, he's been able to do a bunch of shit that should have been done a long time ago.
Well, it's not that it couldn't have been done a long time ago. It's just that the will hasn't been there.
Right.
Well, I think we also wasted
bureaucratic reasons.
We also wasted our time and money on the space shuttle, which never really did what it promised.
Well, it was a good stepping stone. It's just there was never a part 2, or like I said, that was one of the last things of actual development before the welfare culture had really sunk in. It started after Von Braun, but those things have to build up inertia to really set into the ethics of an organization.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I remember like Stefan Molyneux talking about that, like these kind of
I
institutions.
kind of like Off-Grid's idea here. Why don't we make a role-playing game? It's called Mars. Market it to Elon Musk as a test exercise for potential hires for SpaceX. Release it before the first mission, and he likes Elon. Honestly,
Ooh.
if they don't have something akin to a role-playing game without actual dice, but maybe computer resolutions or something,
Well-
in a completely
they do, and they're administered by therapists and psychoanalysts, and they put you through hundreds of thousands of exercises to see if you crack. And
Yeah.
they do it in real world situations, like dropping you in the middle of the desert and see
Yeah,
how long
one
you
of the
can
most-
survive.
One of the most common Mars testing grounds is actually out in the desert. And you are given everything you would have on Mars, and you are expected to act as if you are in no atmosphere.
Yeah, well,
The moment the hull breaches from
why
level
does
50,
the
they
movie
know, and it's an automatic failure.
yeah.
what was that movie with O.J. Simpson? You know what I'm talking about? The Mars
Which one?
movie?
He's been several.
No. Oh God, I want to say Saturn V, but I know that's not it. That's a different movie. With Farrah Fawcett. Where they're faking the Mars landing.
I have no idea. The only O.J. Simpson
No.
movie I remember is the one where he's driving the Bronco on the highway.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Naked Gun. No, someone
that one.
Google it for me. They were in the. He was in this movie where the crew is supposed to make the first landing on Mars, but they're faking it, right? And the astronauts actually decide to say, "Screw it, and we're going to go tell the world." And they're hunting down the astronauts.
It's literally the first image that pops up when I Google his name. Capricorn 1.
Thank you. That's actually a really good movie. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah,
put
I've
that
actually seen this one, but I forgot he was in it.
One movie I was just thinking about with the whole sort of like mentality and how psychology and all that stuff was that there was this movie with Dustin Hoffman where they find an alien under the ocean, and they had assembled this team like years in advance. Like, what do we need and who we're going to get to be if we ever have like an alien space crash? And I guess he was like the psychiatrist or psychologist that would try to go down there. He's like, oh yeah, well if it's a crash, this person's going to be traumatized even if they're an alien.
Mm-hmm.
What was the movie called?
I don't remember. It had Dustin Hoffman and I want to say like Michelle Pfeiffer or somebody in it.
The movie Abyss keeps coming to mind, but I know it's not that.
Yeah, and I had that feel because I remember the alien was like under the ocean.
Sphere. Sphere.
That's it. Yeah.
There was a really good. I don't know what it was. It was like I don't know what the show was called. Is how I should put that in. But it was like the old black and white Stranger Thing. Strange.
What happened in it?
Anyway, yeah, you're right. It's one of those type of stories. The people were going to the bottom of the ocean to figure out certain. I forgot exactly why, but it was for experimental reasons. Come to find out, it was actually because they were being purposely put in front of a thing that people knew were making radiation, and they wanted to see what the results would be. Come to find out, this alien orb literally opened humans' minds to the point they basically became gods. If they imagined it, it came to be. Literally, one person at one point imagined they were under attack by a giant squid, and the base was under attack by a giant squid.
That sounds so familiar. You said it was black and white, though, right?
No, it's under that style, but was made modernly.
Okay.
And then they decide, oh well, humans can't have this level of power, so they send it back into space, using their collective mind power.
Oh, that's not an awful idea. If you're going to send it in space, send it into the freaking sun. You know what I mean?
Well, they didn't say where they sent it. They just said they sent it back into space because humans weren't.
Oh yeah, so the first intelligent freaking species that comes across it just suddenly now has the ability to just fucking wipe our asses off the map. Nice. Your tax dollars at work. Okay, now I just heard the beep, but nobody's there.
Well,
that could be from Skype. That's a Skype beep.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, somebody messaged you. Because you're the only one that has it on that I know of.
Skype,
I hear it all the time from you, bro. Hey, it's
but I'm outside and I
Brian.
don't have any other devices and I don't have Skype on. Long time no see, Brian. Yeah, Better Than Life was good. Almost everything except like the last 2 seasons from Red Dwarf was just stellar.
The most recent ones
Yeah, it
from
was
the
when they went back to
2000s.
Earth, and yeah, it was just like, yeah, you can do better, guys. They probably threw better scripts away, back in the '90s. I love Red Dwarf. I gotta get that on DVD. I gotta, but it's so fucking expensive. It's still like $100.
Armity.
Well, that's no worse than one of the animes I want to get my hands on. One Piece, over 1,000 episodes. One of their collections is over $100, and that might be 10% of the collection.
Of what?
Yeah, One Piece.
One Piece.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I should have known, right, guys?
Yeah, I think my B5 on disc is like $400 or something like that.
Yeah, I've looked. It's I don't know exact numbers, but it's really expensive even here.
I think I spent about $80 for each season of Babylon 5.
Yeah, I got them. I got them a long time ago, and I've had them for a long time. And it's free on one of my services on Roku. But if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to force the little guy to sit down through it. It's such a good show.
He needs to.
Babylon 5?
He definitely needs to expand his education with a Babylon 5 watching.
Yeah. I too have that song burned into my head.
What song?
It's cold outside. No kind of.
Oh yeah.
And it's so goofy. It you know what I mean? It's just like it doesn't really pertain to the show, but it's just so offbeat, and opposite of the whole theme of the show.
Yeah.
Raven would like it because one of the main characters was a cat. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Cat boys don't exist. They're wrong. Only cat girls exist. Cat boys are fake. The propaganda brought to you by communists.
There's a really good meme I seen one time.
Brian, I don't know if you've been paying attention to this show and last show. I can't help but think that the sci-fi characters that everybody's made for this potential sci-fi game could not be anything but a comedy in the long run, just considering who would be involved. And yes, there is a Red Dwarf RPG. I think I have it.
Definitely. The first thing we all got to get up to has to turn out to be like we're all trying to defeat this bad guy, and it's just a total misunderstanding. It's just like the ice cream truck or something like that.
I one of the things I loved about our Red Dwarf the most was that it was all a big joke leading up to the punchline at the end. Queeg, oh my God, that is a masterpiece in telling of the possibly the greatest joke of all time.
I don't think I've done more than the first 4 or 5 seasons of that show.
What do you mean?
Red Dwarf?
You've only watched?
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it. Although the original Kachansky, who used to be from Altered Images, the singer, was so good, and the woman they replaced her with was just awful. I hated her. She ruined the show from that point on. She was just way too attractive and snooty for there to have ever been. Like if you watch the very first episodes, they're.
I don't think the one from the band is actually the original one. I think she was like the third one. We had this discussion before.
Danny John Jules, I think was his name. Yeah, he was huge in a lot of things. And if you ever see interviews with him, completely different guy. I mean, he's just like Okay, Raven's back. No worries,
The-
Raven. What we can do is we can post the link in Discord, and people can check it out there.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
too long, and I don't. And I
Yeah.
checked it,
Oh,
and
I fucking hate that.
okay, it wasn't something I did then. All right, I've never seen one so long in all my life.
It happens from time to time.
Off grid, I couldn't say it better myself. To be honest, Red Dwarf is easily in my top 3 favorite sci-fi anythings ever in the history of everything. It was so well done on every level. The fact that we only got 4 episodes a season was like was the payment we had to suffer through for it being so damn good.
6 in season 1. 6 in season 2.
Oh, it was 6. I don't know why I thought 4, but even 6 is like, you
Yeah,
know,
6.
uh,
6 is actually pretty normal for British shows.
really.
Yeah.
One every 2 months, huh?
No, they'll run them straight, but then the thing won't be on for like they slow burn a lot of stuff. Well, fast burn.
I didn't see Blade 2. Blade 1 was okay. Um, but I know if they redid it, which I think they're thinking about, I'm just like, I'm so glad I
Uh,
gave up on Marvel movies back years and years ago.
yeah. There were 8 episodes in season 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Blade was in the Deadpool movie, the recent one.
No, really.
Just
Yeah.
at the end though, and
Um,
technically 8 in season 8 as well, but the first 3 were a continuous story. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The newest Deadpool movie. You were
Mhm.
saying?
Oh yeah, they had Blade in it. It was like a multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah, but they shoved everything in there as a joke, right? They were making fun of the multiverse thing
Yeah,
that they had been doing in Disney.
but it was a way to it was how they get Wolverine back. So they basically find the worst Wolverine in all the multiverses and bring him. The funny
Your
part is
average
they
Wolverine then.
yeah
I was gonna say there's a best Wolverine.
Yeah, the
The-
one that's 4 foot nothing, smokes a cigar, and wears
yeah
yellow.
they
Gotcha.
actually had they did that where he's basically going through the multiverses trying to because the Wolverine in his universe. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Just do it.
Okay, so he's looking. What it happens is that the Wolverine in his universe died, and he died heroically, but it was like the anchor character for his universe in the multiverse, and so that was going to make his universe die eventually. So he's got to save the world and save his friends by going into the multiverse and trying to get a Wolverine. And they do there's one that's like really short, and it's like the comic book accurate Wolverine. One is they actually had what's his name Henry Cavill sitting there. He's like, oh my gosh, and he's just sitting there. He's there with his motorcycle. And he's polishing the motorcycle. He just turns around and it's Henry Cavill dressed as Wolverine. He's like, it's like, and I think he was like making jokes like, we'll treat you better than they do at the other place. Please come. Like, yeah, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good. It was a good movie. It was fun. It was a fun movie. They had the world's ugliest dog in it, which was great.
The world's ugliest dog.
Yeah.
Which still isn't as ugly as the previous world's ugliest dog.
Oh no, I have to look that up now.
The world's ugliest dog. What's that from? Just a.
No, there's actually a contest, world's ugliest dog. The current world's ugliest dog is kind of ugly, but it mostly looks fucking stoned. The previous world's ugliest dog is fucking ugly.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you judge that?
I have no idea.
I figured you were an expert with how much you seem to know about this.
No,
bad.
my grandmother actually watched the show or watch the news report, something like that. She loved watching the world's ugliest dog contest.
Okay.
Fucking hillbillies, man.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I know, but.
And there goes Raven again.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to start a GoFundMe. I'm just saying.
No, that needs to be one of the things on your bingo card. Raven drops out of the stream for no reason.
Oh, there's a reason. There's a reason.
Meow. It doesn't matter what we do, bro. I'm pretty sure 90% of the problems Raven has is cat hair.
Well, she's got a new computer, well, relatively new, compared to the other things she's got going on. Honestly, I think it's more of what do you call it? Her internet versus anything else, right, Raven? It's your internet, right? Or is it the ley lines are crossing?
Good God, I don't know, but this is ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. Okay. Well, I'm messing around I'm on the tablet and I've got the laptop here. I'm just trying to get these links. I've got an email that I'm getting ready to send you with 2 links. Apparently, Valiant Thor wrote a book called To Men of Earth. The
Are you
Venusian.
sure it's called To Dupes of Earth?
No, it's a message of hope to mankind. It's about.
So it's the sequel to Serve Man.
Valiant.
No.
To Serve Man. Yeah.
How would he have a name that could be pronounced in English that makes sense? Valiant Thor. Shouldn't it be Azarak or Torubik or maybe Rubik's Cube, which is confusing in and of itself?
I think it's kind of funny. Yeah,
His name is.
He's got the name Thor, from a Viking god, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
His name is.
But the picture on the cover is the photograph of him. There's, I think, 3 photographs that we have of him, and the other 2 photographs have the other 2 Venusians that accompanied him on this mission.
Venusian.
They were trying to save us from ourselves.
You mean Decodans?
Huh?
You mean Decodans?
Decodans.
You call people from Dakota.
No, they're Venusians from Venus.
Yeah, no, they're what do you call people from New Mexico?
You see, if I believe this to be anything besides a scam, it would be plausible deniability.
They're from Arizona, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, like, if this book came from anywhere, it's plausible deniability bullshit. Oh, look, some crazy wrote a book.
No. Yeah. No. Okay, anyway, I emailed him to you, Shadow.
I'm going to go with it was the 1950s, and there was no way of proving anything.
Yeah, Arizona existed in the 1950s.
Really? You sure?
Yeah.
I need citations.
I need citations.
Okay, yes. The Stranger at the Pentagon, which tells the unusual story of a spaceman named Valiant Thor. Because Thor was a real person who appeared in a public and on a few occasions, including the United Nations headquarters in New York City, the legend of the Stranger at the Pentagon has grown, becoming a real head scratcher for 21st century UFO researchers. He appeared at the United Nations.
The United Nations building too. Doesn't mean I'm from Venus.
No, you're from Pluto, and I don't mean the planet.
He's
Uranus.
Yeah, she knows her screen is all black. Because Raven is also another word for the color black, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I'll try the camera again in a minute. I was having problems with it earlier and figured it would be better just to leave it off so that I wouldn't have these dropping issues, but obviously that didn't work. Today, the story of Valiant Thor is still one of the hottest topics in ufology, having spawned various books, documentaries, and Hollywood productions. But recent revelations that he was in
Never
cahoots.
heard of it before, and I used to listen to Art Bell every
Right.
night.
Okay. So 1958. That's when it.
Yeah,
Here it is.
I've heard the story
1958.
growing up through various sources, but I'm going to go with the fish and just say check out the Y Files episode of it. Um, see what they say. Um,
I thought you said the Y Files was the feds, bro. I thought
no,
you
I'm
said that
certain it
was.
is. I'm certain it is,
I
but
thought you said. I thought you said.
well, because
Beetlejuice there was a covert agent from the Austrian government.
no, I didn't say where. Oh no, I did. It's I'm pretty sure it's CIA. But every once in a while they do tell some truths. They got to. Um, but it's just it's so fantastical that you would think that it would be more well known than Area 51. You know, in the zeitgeist, if you will.
I heard of Area 51.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The story is so fantastical that you would think that it would be, you know, more well known, even if it was just a, poke fun at it. And Off Grid saying you do get a better connection without video. So good on you, Raven.
I'm just saying, Raven, you believe every kooky thing that ever comes by your
No,
desk?
I don't. I don't believe in flat Earth.
Oh, I disbelieve you because you believe this story. Flat Earth is more
I'm not even
plausible than a
saying-
guy from
no.
fucking Venus.
At no point did I say I believe this, but I'm making everyone aware of it. You make your own decisions. But here it is. Here's
Yeah,
two books.
We
And
can't
these.
see.
I'm just saying, I wrote a book with a girl named Layla and her friend Mr. Scruffles, and that does not make it true.
I
No,
know.
it does
I didn't
somewhere,
say.
Trust me.
Did I say?
Yeah, I was just thinking, TCG, you beat me to it. I guarantee the names have only been changed to protect the guilty, Justin. and Cal, everybody knows the Earth is actually donut shaped. Speaking of which, I got a cinnamon roll calling my name. Thank you for reminding me. Such a weird roundabout way. I felt like freaking Jeff Goldblum in that movie where he's freaking making all the weird connections.
Isn't he dead now?
Every day I pray. I'm kidding.
Well, I swear I heard Jeff Goldblum just died.
Really? I'm
Goldblum.
kidding, of course. He has done some great stuff, but those commercials he did recently,
Sadly, no.
you don't think he was good in City Slickers?
Oh,
Not
no,
City
no.
Slickers.
Oh, no, no. I mean, sadly, he's not dead. Because
No.
that's just the thing. And
Fly.
the age bubble on Google, right? For actors, it's like this big, and when the person dies, it cuts in half, and another one pops up underneath with their death date.
Because I know we just lost James Earl Jones, which was
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about him off camera, so hopefully he was a good guy. He definitely gave us all a lot of enjoyment over the years, as did Goldblum. But those commercials he did for that, I don't know what it was, where he's wearing those really big white rimmed glasses, just made him look like a super villain trying to get us to buy into his Doctor Evil internet plan or whatever.
Well, he just dresses like that all the time.
No, I know. It's like
he dresses like a 1980s Bond villain.
right. He's weird enough without any of that. All he has to do is just talk. If it was just from his neck up, wearing a dress shirt, you'd still be like, oh my god, this guy's the weirdest guy ever. And then he pumps it up down to John level. Like,
yeah, he puts on the turtleneck and the weird colored things and the prints. Everything's like this weird geometric print or something with like a flat tone jacket, and then the thick rimmed resin glasses with.
Yeah, it was just like it one word starting with P and ending in O came through my mind. You know what I mean?
Keto.
Yeah.
That's not the word that came through my mind.
But is he, Cal? Is he a gamer, or is he just playing games? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I honestly, I'd rather play a game with Vin Diesel than Goldblum. You know, just saying. And I really wouldn't want to play a game with Vin Diesel because he's also pretty weird. But at least
Yeah. I'd rather play a game with tasers than either of those guys.
you go Krieger style.
Far more fun. And tasing yourself is not fun.
I have done that more than once. It is not fun. Um,
Now,
but
mind you, it does add good stakes to a game of laser tag when you have that little taser module hooked into the alarm instead of a beep.
I got $50 for being tased.
You play a whole different game then.
you got $50 for what crafting?
Standing up after being tased, like still standing, I should say.
Yeah.
This wasn't one of those cheap ones either. This was an actual. The kid got serious shit afterwards. The kid stole his father's police taser.
Yeah, you can kill a person with powerful tasers.
Yeah.
Well, you can kill a person with a light taser, but
yeah,
they have to have pre-existing conditions. City Slickers. I haven't seen that in a hot minute.
Was he in City Slickers?
Wasn't he in City Slickers?
No, I was thinking
Buckaroo
Banzai. I thought he was.
City Slickers was an okay movie. I watched it once as a kid, and I don't need to ever watch it again.
Well, it
City Slickers.
Yeah, I've got mine here.
Remember when Jack
but it doesn't hold a
Palance...
charge for shit, man.
No, I'm thinking of Bill Crystal.
He used to be really funny, and then he had the decency to just disappear.
Yeah.
No, I like that. I like that. When you've made that kind of money over the course of a decade or two, being funny or being whatever, in the limelight, and then you just disappear. I like that.
He still does stuff.
It means you've made some great decisions with your money, and you can just actually enjoy it. It should be the goal, not to continue to be in the spotlight. Mind you, I know he is pretty old, so there could be that.
He still does stuff, but it's like low key.
Loki.
Yeah, it's like Jackie's favorite actor, favorite Penguin actor,
Danny DeVito.
Miniature Danny DeVito. He still does acting, but he does either TV shows or low key parts.
Yeah, I've been zapped a bunch of times, similar to this off grid, and Buckaroo Banzai was great. I had only seen it once when it first came out, and then a couple weeks ago, I found it online. I watched it, and I'm like, why the hell haven't I been watching this like on a yearly basis? It's goofy as hell, but it's got everything an '80s movie should have.
Yeah.
Peter Weller.
Mm-hmm. John Lithgow, Jeff Goldblum, Clancy Brown. The girl was even good before she became a raging lunatic.
What girl?
The starlet that was in it. I forget her name. I always get her confused with Leah Thompson, but it's not her. It was the other one. They're very similar in appearance.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, I've now seen it twice, and it's now on my list of got to see it once a year.
Like
it was.
He sings her a song, and she's just like she tries to off herself.
With a Derringer.
Yeah.
But you get 2 tries. You just get 2 tries, and that's the way it should be. If you're gonna, because usually if you do that, they take it away, and the family don't get it back. Just saying there should be, never mind. I'll put it in chat somewhere else. I'm not going to continue with that. That's pretty dark.
We're used to you being pretty dark, though.
It comes
My
with the
job. Stop stealing it.
It comes with the moniker, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, now I want to watch it tonight, but I'm not gonna. But that was such. It's just it was kind of like
Ellen Barkin. That's who you're thinking
Yes,
of.
yes.
What the fuck else was she on?
Penthouse magazine, or was it Playboy?
Yeah,
pretty sure.
There was that movie with Jimmy Smits where she starts out as a guy that just like he was like a real, I guess, poon hound, and he ends up turning into a woman, and the woman is Ellen Barkin, played by Ellen Barkin.
Yeah, she also had like a TV show that was like really big a while ago, and she had just like gone to hell. The wall really was not very kind to her. But I wanted to equate Buckaroo Banzai to, and everybody's going to hate me for doing this, but Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck's a great movie, man.
Oh my God, no! Howard the Duck. You're kidding.
I'm not kidding at all.
You got to kick her right now. Not like in Howard the Duck is a fucking sin. It's the best film ever.
That's retarded.
It's the best duck-related film ever.
Raven? Have you seen it lately? Because I was the same way. I was like, I love the comic book as a kid because it was very grown up, and I saw it with Connell and gang over on his show. And I'm like, this is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's corny, and the premise is kind of goofy, but
and what's her face? You just mentioned her name, Leah Thompson
was in that. And
best thing she was ever in, even though it was with a duck.
It was just it was very.
You're not right in the head.
It was very cute. You know what I mean? It was a very cute movie, which Howard the Duck was very raunchy, from what I remember.
And there were raunchy parts of that movie.
Sure, but it wasn't.
He and
Howard the Duck is crap. Howard the Duck is smooth. I'd only seen it twice, and the first time I saw it was as a kid. Seeing it as a grown up, I'm like, it's no Citizen Kane. It's not a classic, but it was cute. It was cute and a little bit sad and funny at times, but it was just very it was. If you only had a couple of movies to explain to someone what the 80s was like, you could go, okay, here. You know what I mean?
Howard the Duck.
It was full of goofy shit. I mean, even what was it, Back to the Future, an 80s movie?
Yes.
Same thing. A lot of people love that movie.
Fuck, she was in that too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. That's funny. That's probably why I subconsciously thought of that movie. I'm not a huge fan of the Back to the Future movies, but I get
You're
it.
You're wrong.
They're classic, 80s movies. Whether they're classic in the more general scheme of movies and history, probably. I think we give it a little more up because of what happened to Michael J. Fox, and he kept on, carrying on like a trooper. But they were all very, classic 80s movies with a little bits and pieces, member berries galore of what it was really like to live through that period of time in 2 short hours. Here, boom, this is what it was like. Mine, if you take out all the science fiction and stuff, yes, it was Citizen Kane. Okay. I'm not going to put them in the top 50s or even hundreds of all-time movies, but there's worse crap out there. I've watched it. I've watched The Scientist and Xenophobia, and those are crap. Those are absolute dog water, as my son would say. Dollar Tree bargain bin basement, straight to Dollar Tree, not even straight to DVD, just straight to dollar store movies. And those are crap. but even those are better than watching The View.
Oh yeah, yeah. I agree with you there.
The View. The View is why I support genocide of the human species.
I'm still cracking up over Off Graves. Yes, it was Citizen Kane.
Rosebud. You didn't hear me do that the first time?
Yes, I absolutely did. Okay, George, we're going to wrap it up in a few minutes anyways, so no worries. Thanks for showing up. I hope you'll be here next week when we talk alien characters and stuff, because we're going to try and
you just want aliens to know what to throw at us. You're using us for world building.
I was just going to admit to all of that, not just the world building in the way of the aliens, but
nonetheless, Venus is fake. That's the conspiracy of the game. Venus was never actually there. It's just a cardboard cutout of a planet.
Cardboard cutout. That's a. You know how much cardboard you'd need for that?
Shut up.
But yeah, because after that we're going to go into the building of the universe and whatnot, so people can actually get an idea of how to go about it in the worst, most ass way possible. I have you guys help with it.
You want this guy? You want something that makes Red Dwarf look like a sane, high science fiction?
I absolutely do.
You get this guy to build your universe.
Yeah, I know that's kind of a bummer. They're off grid. We've we've lost too many great ones, and we're never going to get anything like that again. And eventually, AI will probably be all our grandchildren will know. And the only good side to that, though, is they will bring back Chuck Heston and Lee Marvin and all the others, John Wayne.
Yes, but they'll all be in one of your productions.
I'll be dead by then.
No,
Venus is a woman's razor. I don't want to hear about these planet conspiracies. But yeah, we can build the worlds. Get some suggestions from you guys. And I mean, if I'm dungeon mastering, let's say, you guys are going to give me a bunch of ideas. But then it's not like you're going to know every nook and cranny. You're not going to know every little detail of it. You shouldn't. Otherwise, you guys should run it, not me. And trust me, I'm down for that too. I can't wait to be in one of Justin's games. Oh my god, I'm just going to make life miserable for him.
Do you think you could do that?
No, but I could try. It would be fun.
Yes. It's just like, oh, you want to do that?
Shadow spent the entire session trying to make gay porn videos.
No. I always play characters that are different from me than in real life. Come on.
Yeah, right.
So they're heterosexual.
I walked into it, but it was funny. But yeah, letting you guys, come up with, help with some ideas, especially if we keep it simple. Mercury through Pluto, maybe even throw in Nibiru. Who knows? Just for Raven, The
I want Nibiru.
On Nibiru and make her day, and then Nibiru will fly off into the sunset.
I wish we could get the entire back catalog of Art Bell episodes, Coast to Coast AM,
like on a permanent format, like DVDs or something.
Or and just properly cataloged in order. That way we can just take the first episode and have that as the events of the game 1, and then the second episode that's the events of game 2.
So I have a conspiracy
whatever
question.
batshit crap they were talking about. Yes, TCG.
Does Jackie's iceberg involve the Earth X theory, where there's a second Earth on perfect synchronous rotation with the sun, so we can never see it?
We don't know yet.
It exists
because we're only in the third tier, I want to say, out of 10.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more to come, folks.
A lot.
I think you're rushing it. You should have done one episode per thing on a tier.
I want to get it done before Jackie graduates.
That's the thing. You're supposed to be doing it 5 years from now.
5 years from now, I'm going to be in Texas, and Jackie's going to be, in you know,
Ruling
somewhere
his
else.
own dominion in Mexico.
Could be. You know, I you know, he's got a lot of opportunities when he graduates, and I'm not going to try and staple him to the show for life. You know, he wants to come back, cool. Unlike DM James, I'm never going to change the name of the show. It's always what the hell.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
What happened?
Something on my stun gun just fell off, like a piece of plastic, and I know where it's from. That's scary.
Your stun gun.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
flashlight with a,
Yeah.
I need to get a new one of these because this one won't hold a charge for shit. I charge it, it works. Like you get 3 or 4 zaps, and then bzz, nothing.
Yeah, well, they're not meant to be long-term things, bro.
Did you say stun gun?
Yep.
You
Oh yeah, you name it. I probably own it if it's legal. You know.
If it's not legal,
Well, then I wouldn't talk about it on camera. That's for certain.
I'm just saying, a stockpile of nerve gases. Not none.
Anyone else in the stream living in Eastern Standard Time?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
no.
What time zone? Is
Eastern,
it?
I'm in Central.
It's 12:13 for me right now, so I think that's Eastern Standard Time.
I'm on the same time as Shadow.
You're on the same time. It's 7 o'clock for you right now, or
It's 9:13.
9:13 or whatever it is, 3 hours ago.
Yeah,
3 hours ago. Yeah. But yeah, I want to, even after we do like maybe all the 9 planets, you know, not down to the bare bones, just the general gist of
Yeah.
of
I've got to get a grinder, man. I've got to get a diamond grinder, man. I just opened up a thing where guys turn quartz into D20s.
Take care, off grid.
Yeah,
Yes,
party on, man.
in the game. He's our newest addition. And
Tomorrow, bro.
Yep, 5 p.m. Avocado time. We've been playing for about 3 hours, sometimes 4.
There we go. Here, I got it working.
Just in time for me to
Just in
say.
time for the end of the show. I know.
Yeah,
As usual.
We'll keep it running
Raven.
a little while longer, but I don't want to go through too much of what we're going to do in the next couple of episodes.
Yeah.
We're supposed to create an alien for this next week.
Well, we're going to talk about it, and we'll go through the steps, because there's going to be, like with the humans, there's age and gender and things like that. There's going to be a few more.
Party on off grid.
Take care, man. See you tomorrow, and keep those dice warm and ready, man.
For tomorrow night.
But yeah, the things that for like say it was a TV show. There's going to be some things. Obviously you're going to start with a human or a puppet or a animated thing or whatever.
A sex robot.
Well, whatever you're going to base the alien around. Whatever technology you're going to use to portray it. A human with the rubber appliances, or computer gen, or a puppet, or animatronic, or whatever. But there's going to be things about aliens. To make it an alien, it's got to have aspects and attributes that are vastly different from a human, because I don't want, obviously some of them will be humanoid things. People in costumes. That's always the easiest way to go around it, and usually,
The sex robots aren't sex robots.
Well, what do you call then an alien that isn't that different from a human, just from a different planet?
It depends. If it's got arms and legs and head in the same place as us, it's a human.
Yeah, indistinguishable from a Earth human. What would you call them?
We usually use whatever's the closest similarity. Like if it's a biped or if it's a plant or something like that, then we go from some sort of scientific term that sums that up.
Because
Uh,
they're still
I
alien.
call them infiltrators.
Like this Valiant Thor. You're not going to go around checking people's belly buttons to see if they have one or not. And he was indistinguishable from a Earth human.
You know why that was?
Do you still call him an alien? I mean, he wasn't born on this planet.
I call him a very clever human who probably made a bundle off his scam. But
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear what Justin would call him.
Snake oil salesman.
Well, he was a snake. If he was a snake oil salesman, he at least came with a message of peace and tried to talk some sense into the bigwigs in the government.
Yeah.
And that's why he failed.
Yeah. It's like that episode of was it Outer Limits or not Outer Limits? The
Tales from the Dark Side.
no, the Ray Bradbury one, I think it was. Where
Small Town for War.
was it that one where the alien comes down and everybody thinks wants a piece, and then he's like, "No, you idiots! You're supposed to be shock troops."
And instead, you became weak by disarming yourselves and getting rid of all your nuclear weapons. And because you're so dumb and less warriors than we thought, we're going to nuke your planet. And sucks to be you. Yeah, I'll send it to you, Raven. It's like 10, 12 minutes of just fabulous. I remember it. And it's weird because my whole life I thought it was played by the same guy who played the alien was played by the same actor who played Q from Next Generation.
No,
there was another guy, and I'm like, why did my brain do that?
It's the guy that played Luther, the senior in Smallville.
Okay, never saw that.
But
for a
moment,
right?
Imagine if John Q. Delancey had played that part.
Yeah,
that would have been great, right?
Yeah, probably would have been fun.
And I don't know why my brain went there, because as far as I know, that's the only thing he's ever done. I've never seen him in anything else.
I know I've seen him in other things, but I can't place them.
Right?
Ever seen the show Andromeda?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in an episode.
It's a couple episodes. He plays Valentine's uncle.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
But he's a royal bastard, and he makes Q look like a lovable guy.
Well, Q was a lovable guy.
Well, no, like really lovable in comparison.
But was that because he'd already worked in Star Trek and Andromeda was a Gene Roddenberry thing?
Yeah,
what I mean is, like, prior to that, why did they pick this guy? You know what I mean? Did he just Bruce Willis his way in and go like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm the guy you want," and sure enough, he was the guy they wanted for Moonlighting. Who'd never done any acting before and all that. You know what I mean?
Well, that was 87, right?
Moonlighting?
No.
Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek. That's when that show started, 87. He was in an episode of... He was in the Get Smart TV movie, Get Smart Again. He was in Mission Impossible for an episode. Hopper, man.
Is this prior to Next Gen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to like the...
Okay, so he was like
he was a jobber, right? He was in an episode of Murder, She Wrote, an episode of MacGyver, an episode of Twilight Zone. So he was in an episode of Twilight Zone. Just not the one we're thinking of, because that was a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, it was Twilight Zone? Okay.
I think it was a Twilight Zone episode, if not Ray Bradbury.
I always thought it was Tales from the Dark Side, but that was a good show too.
I think a lot of those stuff. The one I'm thinking of, I think was Twilight Zone.
Take care, Cal.
Party on, Cal. We're wrapping up anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one show is.
I'm gonna drop it off at the top of the half hour. So
yeah, the half hour mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy had been around since the 75.
Okay.
McMillan. He was in an episode of McMillan and Wife.
I was waiting for that.
It was like the
Rockford
fourth thing
Files,
or something.
maybe.
I haven't seen Rockford Files.
I see
The
Raven's
$6
about
Million
ready to
Man.
enjoy her daily dose of blood.
Wow.
What are you drinking there, Raven?
Oh,
Oh no, it's red and it's
Code
hard to
Red,
see.
Code
Oh,
Red.
Code Red. Oh.
Mountain Dew.
It's better than Code Blue. Just saying, if you guys know that song.
I did have a blue Mountain Dew before this one, but they don't call it Code Blue.
No,
They call
nobody
it
calls anything
Voltage.
Code Blue for a reason.
Why?
It's
What is
better
Code?
than-
Code
I
Blue
can't say.
is.
I can't say on the air.
Code Blue is the medical code for somebody who's crashing in a hospital.
Oh, that's what I thought.
What are the
But
hospital
no,
codes?
what I was referring to is something darker than that.
I'm sure. Of course.
It's better than a Code Black.
Code Black. That sounds ominous.
Bomb threat.
Oh,
Code Red is a fire.
Code Blue is like a flat line, right?
Yeah, Code Blue is like just a medical emergency. It's just generic, like anything that's going on. Code Gray is a strange
Aquamarine.
What'd you say?
Aquamarine. No, there is no Aquamarine. They're all one word.
Blue Light Special.
There's black, blue, brown, gray, green, orange, pink, purple, red, white.
Oh, what's the purple one for?
Yellow. Also a medical emergency, but other than a common cardiac arrest.
Let's just put it this way: it was a TSOL song, which is weird because I don't remember that song when I hung out with them.
Yeah, I know when I was in the
about
hospital
30
for my
seconds behind.
tooth. When I was in the hospital for my tooth because the infection, Code White was like the most common thing I heard, and that was like aggressive patient or whatever. Yeah. We had this one guy down the hall who just wanted pills and would get mad every time he was told no. And instead of kicking him out after the third time like they should have.
Or literally have them arrested because technically that's, solicitation or something similar.
Solicitation. Yeah, but you got pansy ass medical system. Yeah, I don't think the guy was ever in Rockford Files. He was.
How about Scarecrow and Mrs. King?
I'd have to go check. What years was that on? He was in LA Confidential, but that was 91.
I don't remember much about that show other than Bruce Boxleitner was in it.
Yeah, I know. I keep meaning to watch it, but Scarecrow, Mrs. King. That's a secret agent one, right? I'm not seeing it here.
I don't remember. I never watched it. I thought it was a cop procedural or, Private Eye. One of those similar genres. McMillan Wife.
McMillan and Wife was a cop show. It's about a small town cop and his wife and his deputy. I think they're small town.
BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear.
Bear was a monkey, actually.
I know.
Okay. It's just so I've not heard anybody mention that one. And
good reason, and we should keep it that way. We'll pretend you didn't mention it, and we'll go about our business. Okay.
Although Greg Evigan was a really nice guy in person.
I don't care what he does in real life. What I know is it was a bad concept that nobody should bring up.
Yeah. Well, I think, back in the day, though, it was customary for you to do one animal movie at least, or TV show to prove you're worthy of going to the next level in Hollywood. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Does that explain Beastmaster?
That was a great movie. Don't you dare talk bad on Beastmaster.
I like Beastmaster.
Beastmaster is one of my all-time favorite movies, or at least that's how it would look on my viewing record, because I've seen it 365 times just in 1984 alone. Whatever year it came out on HBO, because it was literally it was on 8 times a day.
Yeah, I've seen it more than once. Also, I can't.
It was like
I tried watching it again last year, and it was it did not live up to my memories of watching it three times a day.
No.
As a child.
Yep.
It was like
I literally remember a day I was at home. I watched it before I went over to my best friend's house. I get there, and I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, hey, Beastmaster's on. I'm like, okay. I just watched it. We watched it,
I can watch Beastmaster.
Huh?
Well, that's what you said when you get there. I can watch Beastmaster.
So what movie have you seen the most? All of you. Let's go around.
The Burbs.
Burbs?
The Burbs.
I don't know, man. It would either be Beastmaster, Pulp Fiction, Princess Bride, or Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, I've seen the
Rocky
fuck
Horror
ton
Picture
of Rocky.
Show. That's funny.
I've seen the fuck ton of Rocky Horror Picture Show, but no, I used to watch the Burbs a lot.
Okay.
Let's do the time warp again.
Yeah.
Waxwork.
Step in the middle.
What?
Waxwork.
Waxwork?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've never heard of that movie.
Oh, you would love it, Raven. It has 18 of the most villainous, legendary, mythical creatures ever to exist. Dracula, the Fishman, the plant from Little Shop of Horrors, and they are all being brought to life by killing 18 people, or 3, 6, 6, 6. 6 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's called Wax
Works.
Have any of you guys been in a wax museum?
Work.
I have.
Work. Singular.
Justin,
Wax.
Crafting, you ever been in an actual wax museum?
Nope.
Not for a long time.
Yeah, same here. Pretty creepy, but interesting.
Mine is I've seen Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail. I have the entire movie memorized. I've seen it so many times.
So, Raven, when did you transition?
What? Transition?
If you've seen that movie that many times, you must have used to been a dude.
No. Not at all. I love that movie. And it's so dumb in some places that, when I'd have a really bad day at work, I would come home and I would put that on, and I could not help but laugh at some point.
I much prefer The Life of Brian.
That's a good one too. I like that one. And there's a third one, The Life of Brian. What was it? The Meaning of Life.
The Meaning of Life.
Yeah.
That's the one with the pirate takeover. The hostile takeover scene.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it has the big fat guy in the restaurant. They bring him the barf bucket.
I don't.
And then he just keeps on eating. And then you see the fish in the aquarium that talk to each other. They were like, "Oh, he's back!"
Mm-hmm.
Was Baron Munchausen a Monty Python?
No. That was its own thing.
But wasn't at least one or two of the actors in it then?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It was a Terry Gilliam production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terry Gilliam made that. He also made your favorite movie, Brazil.
Yeah.
I do like a good Terry Gilliam production. He made 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys was a good.
That was
thing.
Great.
I much prefer the TV series though. The TV series was so much better.
Yeah, I need to put that one on the list too. The movie, then the TV show, because I've seen it multiple times, and it's still one of those movies you walk away and you're like, "What just happened?" You got to look for the liner notes or something.
The TV show is fucking so much more Terry Gilliam than than the movie.
Did he
but
work on the TV
I
show?
don't think he was involved with the TV show. It's just like they channeled more of his zany creativity. And they had more breathing room for the concept.
That's not easy to do these days.
Yeah.
So many of those greats just they just take their stuff and they just don't give a shit
Yeah.
about what they what they would have wanted.
The story was also expanded in a way that made sense. Like they put depth into it as well, which was good, and it played with the like echoing effects of time travel kind of thing. So it wasn't like here's a new creature of the week. It's more like here are the consequences of what you changed. Which makes more sense. Better storytelling, right?
And Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis were phenomenal in it.
Yeah, it would have been nice if they'd gotten either of them to do guest stars in the show.
Just once, maybe.
Yeah, just like you're the feature creature of the week kind of thing.
I can't think of his name. What's his name? The one of the more recent remakes of the story of Robin Hood is a good movie, and it's got
Robin in the Hood.
There is actually a remake.
There's a remake of it.
Oh yeah, you know of it.
Huh?
Oh, Justin actually was just confirming my joke as being real because I've seen that once. Robin in the Hood.
Yeah, it's
Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe stars as Robin Hood.
Oh, that one's pretty old. Yeah, from like 2007 or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The woman is Kate
Blanchett. I don't think it's Kate Blanchett.
Who plays Miriam?
I
can't remember. I really liked that one. I watched that one. I was visiting my parents.
Crowe.
God, it was on one of those movie channels, and it was on every night, and I watched it like 7 nights in a row. It was good.
Yeah, I'm.
Back in the day, Excalibur was one of my favorite movies. I have that one pretty well memorized too.
The only Robin Hood movie I've ever liked, other than the Disney cartoon, which was the very first thing I ever saw in the theater, was the original Errol Flynn version with Basil Rathbone as Guy of Gisborne.
2010. For
I own two different, very, very old Robin Hood.
Yeah, it's Kate Blanchett.
Okay.
It'd be very hard for you to choose a specific Robin Hood movie as my favorite, but the best Robin Hood intro ever is Robin Hood Men in Tights. Every single Robin Hood movie, every single Robin Hood movie they make, they burn our village down, which is true. You watch the beginning of every single Robin Hood movie, they burn a village down.
Yeah, well, that's part of the story. Sir William of Locksley.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Earl Huntington. He's played by Max von
Sydow.
Which is pretty good. And then William Hurt played William Marshall. Good casting all around. I think the weakest cast member in that movie is Russell Crowe himself.
I'm not a fan of him. Yeah, I did like Master and Commander.
I was just thinking of that.
Master and Commander and Gladiator.
Get out of my head.
I didn't like Gladiator.
You don't like Gladiator? I like the Gladiator.
I don't like Gladiator movies.
Yeah, I think Gladiator is the best Gladiator movie.
They actually have the goal to try to make a sequel to that movie.
Yeah, it's coming out like early next year.
They're actually going to finally make the sequel to Master and Commander?
No, Gladiator.
No. I was going to say they promised a sequel to Master and Commander. I mean, they left it hanging, and
it's a book series. You can read the books. I think Master and Commander is the first one too.
I think when it comes to Robin Hood, mind you, both the books that I own, they're hardbacks with original artwork,
Master and Commander.
and the Errol Flynn version. I get it. Nobody wanted to wear tights. After the 1960s. But that's how they dressed. It was famous for all the green and the bright colors of the era. In every movie I've ever seen, other than Men in Tights, which was trying to make my point for me, they've tried to go the exact opposite route.
But I don't
Of
think the
making it
men wore
look real.
tights. Maybe the
They-
jesters in the courts did, but the
No.
common
Actually,
folk
it was
wore,
very-
like deerskin
There was
pants.
a time. There was a time
Buckskin.
in history where
And it was actually very common for even the commoners to wear tight pants because that
But-
was the fashion.
they weren't tights because they didn't have like stretchy fabric.
Yeah, they weren't leotards.
but it was that was what always was so great in the early days of cinematography, with all the knights and those kinds of movies, was the pageantry, the colors,
Well,
the
the
costume,
colors were more realistic.
versus the let's everybody be wearing furs and crap that they just cobbled together, making them all look like Vikings.
Yeah,
It's like that's what
like
they were trying to-
goth Vikings too, like modern day gothic.
Yeah, it was
Like-
just not, like the one with what's his name? God, what's his fucking name? The actor that was in Silverado and The Postman, Kevin Costner.
Yeah, Kevin
That was
Costner.
like this is not Robin Hood. This is anything but. You know what I mean?
Well, the accents were the worst. That was more realistic because they're wearing earth tones and hiding in the forest. But
But even in the old original novels, they didn't do that.
well,
mean?
it's
They wore green.
exaggerated.
They wore green,
Yeah,
but you had Will Scarlet. Why? Because he always wore red. You had
Yeah.
all of the tabards and things that, for the knights and soldiers in armor. They had their colors, on that sort of like toga thing they wore over the armor, and
Mhm.
even in
The haberdasher.
even in the Star Trek version, which actually came out on my birthday with Q and Picard all playing Robin Hood. I'm not a merry man. They all dressed closer to the traditional. Mind you, the books that I have are like 100 years old or what have you, and the concept of changing the look never occurred to anybody back then. They wouldn't. Back then, that was a period where they still actually wanted to tell the history and the story the way it was. They had no concept of reimagining anything. There was no need. It was great on its own.
Shadow, I
And-
would like to introduce you to the phrase, the victor's right history or whatever it is.
I know. That's why some of the books I have will always be worth having, because you can see the original. This is what it was, and now look what it became. Which would you rather watch? You know what I mean? And if you haven't actually watched the original, I mean, it's a treat for the eyes. You're like with Ben Hur, or the Ten Commandments or El Cid. Those old movies, your eyes are just seeing shit you're never going to see again. You're seeing grand landscapes and vistas and scenery and costumes that you know the price may be the same for a costume now, but it's crap. You know what I mean? When you see it like a designer dress, it's made out of $8 in fabric because it's got some famous jackoff's name on it. Oh, it's
Yeah.
versus okay, Cleopatra's costume in the movie Cleopatra cost this much money and took freaking 18 different people working on it nonstop for days, kind of thing. Versus,
Yeah.
versus
Sometimes the simpler cuts are nice, but like I much prefer when they made the more recent version of Pride and Prejudice. They moved it ahead 30 years in history just so they could have the different costume
Mm.
designs because they were accurate to the period. but not the period from the book, because they were a lot more lace and flurry and the blah, 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 hoop skirts, not the hoop skirts, but the ones with the padded hips.
Yeah.
Don't like those designs. So they
Whoever
moved it
came up
ahead.
with that fashion, oh my God.
Women.
No.
Women did. Yeah, women have always guided their own fashion.
No.
I've actually got a very,
Yeah,
I've got a handy book.
Proven.
The fashion industry has
Raven.
always been dominated by women, with a small amount of very feminine men and an even smaller amount of actual straight men.
No, yeah,
But it's predominantly women.
That's why male fashions haven't changed that much in the last 300 years.
Because we don't need them to. I've got a very, very...
Our lapels have gone in and out. That's it.
Yeah, I've got a very, very helpful book called 20,000 Years of Fashion. That's helped me throughout my career, coming up with new ideas just by looking at old stuff.
You got to send me an Amazon link to that book, bro.
I've had it for 40 plus years, so I'll look for it.
Yeah, because I don't know the title, if you got it right or not.
It's 20,000 Years of Fashion.
Yeah.
And
I've been trying to find a book I don't
know how it could be 20,000. I think it's 2,000. But either way, I had to go do a lot of effort to get that book. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've been trying to find a book that I seen at a garage sale once. I wish I'd gotten it, but I've not been able to find it on Amazon, eBay, or anywhere, which is 1,000... How to Say No in 1,000 Languages, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how to say no.
Crafting. It's like that. Universal.
Oh God. Yeah,
that would have been a perfect segue to say goodnight, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'm looking for the Aubrey Murren book series. That's Master and Commander was the first one in that series. So I've been meaning to read those myself.
You know how bad I am? I never even finished Broken Sword.
You still got time?
No, I know. Just that's how tight my schedule is sometimes.
You could have ended the show an hour ago and finished the book.
Mm-hmm. I certainly could have.
Yeah, you could end the show right now.
$5 says I won't even get to it tonight.
Yeah.
So with that being said, folks, thanks for playing along tonight. It's been a great show. A lot of fun. I like the idea of these exercises over the next month or so, maybe more, depending on how much work we want to put into it. And any suggestions, folks, in the comment section, always welcome. If you want in on this madness, just make up a character, and we got room for 6. Well, we've got room for one more, I think, because George is in. So,
are we going to play these characters that we created?
Probably. I don't see why not. Every other Saturday night or something, or once a month while we work on stuff. Because I like the idea of it.
But I suggest that if we do have it, so it's a beginning and end in one night thing,
right?
For whatever we're doing.
Not to be railroady or anything, but to have some definitive goals before and after. Going into it, it's like, okay, maybe Mr. Kobold, whatever, will be like, okay, this is what we got to do, okay, and then do it and see what happens, and then maybe have a little discussion afterwards or whatever.
Because we could kill a single mission in a 3-hour block, and if someone doesn't show up the next time we decide to pull that card out and play a session, doesn't matter. They weren't there at the beginning of the game, so they are there at the end of it.
Unlike a lot of other games, like Bo's game that we were in, we didn't play because one player didn't show up. Out of 4 or 5 that we have, and I'm like, my game. If 3 people don't show up, maybe. But if one doesn't, we're on. Sorry.
Like Donkey
You-
Kong, motherfucker.
You missed out. Sorry, you missed out. And I like that idea in a campaign. It's like, hey, you didn't make it. Like I tell my son, you don't go, you don't get. Referring to the grocery store. You want to go? I'll buy you whatever the heck you want. But you don't go. I'm just getting the regular shit. But you don't show up, you miss out. But you're not going to miss out so much that you don't want to show up next week. Hopefully, it's to the contrary. You're like, oh man, I missed out. I don't want to miss out on that. Especially if they go back and watch the episode to catch up, going like, cool. But I do like the idea of making it episodic, like a TV show or something like that, to where, we get one thing done and that's it. That's cool. And it's one more piece of the puzzle, maybe, to eventually solving the crime, whatever that might be.
Well, just don't have anything super big and grandiose.
Yeah, no. I mean, with these characters, come on, they're not saving the world.
No. We could have a 3-hour session of just like looking for Dunkin' Donuts. It's Harold and Kumar.
Oh God, you had to say donuts. Now I want one. No, damn it, Justin, it's all your fault. I'm going to have to drive down to this Circle K and see if they got any donuts left.
Don't do that, because then I'll have a second cinnamon roll, and I'm on a diet. But folks, go ahead, Crafting.
What I was going to say is, we could always do a Red Robin of who GMs, in which case there will be an episode when Justin leagues that all we're doing is looking for a Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, no. That's for you. Yeah, okay.
No worries, guys. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. I'll see you. I probably won't see anybody tomorrow except at the gaming table. But
this half of the screen.
Right. But we will see you guys over on Justin's show Monday morning. Hopefully it won't be another 4-hour show, just like 1 or 2 maybe. So we can start the week off with some shenanigans and then get to our.
I reset my alarm for 2:00, and it's my time.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
12 to 2.
Yep. Cool. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.